Hello and welcome back to UCEI, University of California Esports Initiative, presented by Xfinity. Today is day 2 of Overwatch's online qualifiers, and we've got some banger games ahead of us. Yesterday, we saw UCI and UCSD qualify themselves to LAN, and now we're watching lower bracket.
Yep. Every single match yesterday was a 3-0, so we're hoping for some closer matches today. As Mikey said, Irvine and San Diego have already qualified for LAN, so teams are now looking to secure their spot from the lower bracket.
Let's talk about the matches that we've got today. Today, we're watching Riverside and Davis, then qualifying. At the same time, Santa Barbara and Berkeley are going to be playing, and then we're going to watch the winner of Riverside and Davis go against Santa Cruz, and the winner of Santa Barbara and Berkeley going against UCLA.
Yeah, yesterday we saw teams pick Ilios, Kings Row, Watchpoint. No one picked any Flashpoint game modes, so hopefully we'll see a little bit of a shake-up there in the map picks.
Yeah, now let's get straight into the first game. First, we've got UCSB versus Berkeley. Let's talk a little bit about UCSB.
Yeah, Santa Barbara, they are the 7th seed in this tournament, and they did lose 3-0 to UCSC. UCEI, presented by Xfinity, is their first tournament of the year, and they have a very new roster. Only one returning player, the Lego Dude. 2 players, Pretz and Citric Acid, were both brought up from the JV team. Everyone else is new, so very fresh roster. They do not have much experience.
Yeah, now Riverside, they are the 8th seed in this Berkeley. They are the 6th seed in this tournament. They did lose 3-0 yesterday to UCSD, who did go on to qualify. They've got a mixed squad with half returning players, half new players, so definitely a toss-up in our hands here.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough to get, so we didn't end up watching the Santa Barbara Santa Cruz match yesterday, so there are a lot of variables. We have not seen this team play live on broadcast before, so yeah, very excited to see how that plays out. Same goes for Berkeley. We have not seen either of these teams play yet.
Should be very interesting. And now we know that the first map is going to be Lijiang Tower, starting off with Control, as every game is going to start off with. What kind of comps are we expecting to see on this map?
Okay, looks like we're going to Night Market first map. A lot of teams like to run the Orisa here. Sometimes teams will bring out, a monkey pick. It's really up in the air. I mean, I think especially now, Santa Barbara coming after that match against Santa Cruz, we'll see how they react. They're used to playing against Doomfist so far, so maybe they'll be conditioned to sort of a little bit more of a CC-heavy composition.
Yeah, now a little bit of an early look into the comps. We see both teams running Orisa, both teams running Juno. UCSB don't know if they're actually going to run the Zen. Starting off with the Sim to teleport them out of the map, or out onto the close, and we'll see what they switch into. Both teams running an Ashe as well.
Yeah, the Pharah is definitely an interesting pick here. We saw UCLA play the same pick on this map yesterday, and it did work out well for them. So we'll see if Berkeley has the same success.
And it looks like UCSB is actually going to commit to the Zen pick here. Let's see what they're able to do with that Discord Orb.
There's going to be a lot of damage coming in onto the enemy Orisa from that. Yep, Santa Barbara here just trying to work for a little bit of map space for Citric to play in on that Ashe, but they're Berkeley very careful to stay out of those sight lines. Stella similarly trying to work around, take a little bit of map control. Pretz there over for the challenge. Kai now going in for a brawl onto the enemy tank Enigma. Discord has already been used, and Berkeley's able to kite that Discord and fall back onto point, securing the first capture.
First capture here for Cal. We see UCSB trying to put as much pressure as they can onto this Pharah, not allowing them to take as much space as they can. Similarly with the Ashe of Stella here, they want to deny him all that space, all those sight lines to get as much damage alleviated onto their team. But in the process, they lose Kai and Lego.
Yeah, easy cleanup there for Cal. While Pretz and Citric were trying to take map space away from Stella playing split from point, which at first seems like a bad play. Cal's actually able to use that aggression onto Stella to make a counter engage onto the Santa Barbara front line.
Now back. Cal up to 30% here. UCSB stuck in this choke here, trying to poke and prod so they can get a little bit of space to get out of the choke.
Orbital Ray coming down from smoke, a very aggressive engage from Cal. Dolphin is able to find Hydro, but Kai trades out Dolphin. A very aggressive play from Dolphin.
Yeah, UCSB here taking the advantage in picks, it seems, but Cal's still able to hold on to the point.
Citric coming up big, finds Amon as well. Enigma is in a rough spot here. Lego Dude finishing him off.
And we'll see the first capture here for UCSB. Cal able to get to 60%. Maybe 1, maybe 2 fight territory here for Cal.
You know, Santa Barbara's in a much better spot with ultimates here. Transcendence and Orbital Ray ready. Very good fight from them, not able to, or not having to counter the Orbital Ray with one of their own.
Yeah, so the deciding factor here for this next fight is going to be what can Cal do? What can Aman do with his rocket barrage here?
Enigma taking an early engagement point, gets Discord and is forced to kite away. Barrage coming out from Aman on point, finding Lego. Not able to pop transit time. Hydro pops the Orbital Ray in response, but Cal already has momentum here. Terra Surges both coming out. Kai actually finding Enigma there. He popped the Terra Surge second.
Still, UCSB winning out these trades here, able to hold on to their point, but Cal does fall. Rally being popped here.
Dolphin thinks they can turn this fight, and it looks like they can.
Bob being committed on the point, but is there any follow-up? Smoke falls. Is there any other damage that UCSB still has to recapture and hold this point? Looks like they can. Looks like they turn the fight into their favor, getting over 50% here, matching Cal's percentage.
If they're able to maintain control of the point without the use of Transcendence, that'll be huge here. You know, a long dragged out fight. This could be last fight territory for Santa Barbara.
Exactly, and let's take a look at the ultimates here. Cal coming up, has Bob coming up on Orbital Ray. UCSB, it's going to depend a lot on what Lego can do with his Transcendence.
Amon's, you know, swapping over to the Venture, trying to look maybe to get more pressure onto the Santa Barbara backline. Enigma going for an engage here with Smoke's Orbital Ray coming out. Stella drops Bob, and Lego has to pop Transcendence in response. No headway made for either team here, except Cal does look like they're able to force Santa Barbara out from point, but no. Kai is able to stay on point, but the rest of his team is falling behind him.
Cal absolutely takes the fight here. UCSB able to get up to 88% here. Practically one fight territory. It all depends on how long Cal can hold UCSB in this choke to hopefully bring themselves also into one fight territory.
Yeah, now Pretz is going to be looking for an early pulse bomb here, possibly onto the Cal backline. A pulse bomb here, stuck on one of the supports, can end the map right now.
Let's take a look at some of the other ultimates about to come online. Hydro getting dangerously close to the Orbital Ray.
Oh, and Pretz actually catches himself with his own pulse bomb. Amon finding Citric. That's like, it looks like it's going to be the fight for Cal and potentially the map here.
That is going to be a reset. Does Cal have enough, does UCSB have enough time to reset here and re-engage onto the point to touch for the last fight?
Yeah, Lego is able to try out his own life, but looks like there's just not going to be enough time, yeah. Cal with a very aggressive hold there, yeah, not letting Santa Barbara touch.
But that was pretty close from both sides. UCSB able to get to 88%, able to pretty confidently take some of those fights there. This should be a pretty even map.
Yeah, this is very scrappy fights, you know. Orbital Rays were not coming out from the same time from both teams, but, you know, neither team was able to really close out fights with the Orbital Ray advantage.
Yeah, and I think that'll be the one of the bigger deciding factors here is ultimate usage. Can we get, which team can get more value out of the ultimates that they build? We see UCSB in the early game, their ultimate economy was a lot stronger than Cal's, but they weren't able to completely capitalize on that.
Yeah, looks like Cal's going to stay on this Venture pick, which I actually really like. I think, especially with Transcendence down, offers a lot of pressure onto Zen.
Yeah, whereas UCSB Pretz opting for the Tracer.
Santa Barbara's a little bit of an advantage here coming out on the TP, and Kai finds an early spear, Enigma off the map. This will be an easy first fight win for Santa Barbara.
Easily taking the first point capture here for UCSB.
And another one off the map for Kai. Great stuff from Kai.
So many environmental kills. All the way up to 50% of his ultimate charge because he was able to completely solo kill Enigma. 60% on his Terra Surge. He is miles ahead of everyone else on his ultimate.
Looks like Cal's going to try and go around from the right side here of the map. And Enigma, you know, trying to access that Santa Barbara backline, poke it out a little bit, but Pretz actually wraps all the way around and finds Stella early.
Continuing to flank. Cal here, able to find smoke on the Juno, fighting the brig here of Dolphin. As Enigma goes down, Dolphin does too, and Cal has to reset. They've lost all their supports, they've lost their tank, they're a little bit behind, they are pretty far behind in their ultimate economy. Let's see how far UCSB can take this advantage.
It's a great rotation from Santa Barbara there. They saw Cal decide not to push bridge, so they took bridge for themselves, and you know, Pretz pushed all the way around, secured an easy fight win.
Now they're reaping the rewards. They're up to 40%. Their ultimate, they almost have Orbital Ray. They have Terra Surge coming up on Bob, coming up on Pulse Bomb, while Cal is pretty far behind.
Enigma already falling very low. Fortified forward stat. Looks like Kai's going for a Terra Surge. Catches the brig in it. finds a pick onto Dolphin. Citric finishes off Enigma.
That's another fight going the way of UCSB.
Yeah, Cal there did swap Stella over to the cast pick, potentially to fend off some of the flank there from Pretz, but the aggression from Kai was just too much. And Enigma's still only 60% to a Terra Surge of zone.
No. The only major ults Cal has is Orbital Ray. What can UCSB do to defend that? They have their own Orbital Ray. They have Transcendence, so they should be able to pretty effectively counter this.
Pretz lurking here, looking for a pulse bomb. Satellite vectors coming out from both sides. Kai making a lot of space though, forcing the supports out of that Orbital Ray. And Amon is actually able to find Citric early. Late Transcendence coming from Santa Barbara. Citric and Hydro have already fallen. This looks like a last-ditch effort. Amon's falling very low though. Cal is able to get the flip.
Lego isolated, taken down. Dolphin does get taken down by the pulse bomb, but the fight seems like it's already over.
Yeah, questionable pulse there, and yeah, it looks like Kai's forced off the map.
Cal was able to take their first fight in point capture here. UCSB able to get up to 88%, so basically one fight territory.
But yeah, they invested a lot of ultimates there. They probably didn't need to. You know, once it was a 3v5, they likely could have cut it off, but you know, they still used 2 more, so they're in a little bit of a tricky spot now.
Yeah, their ultimate economy advantage that they had, they were miles ahead of Cal, but now it's pretty even.
Santa Barbara looking to push around the same way that Cal did. They now have a Bob to throw on point, though. Citric does have to be careful of the far Tracer, though. Flanks can be coming from any angle.
Let's see how Citric decides to use Bob here to engage onto the point. Cal,
looks like an early Bob coming out, with Kai pushing around the other way, sandwiching Berkeley tank. But Stella and Amon make a play here, finding Pretz, taking out the Bob.
Rally coming out from Dolphin here. Cal pushing their advantage on the picks. Taking out both of UCSB's DPS. And winning the fight all the way up to 56, 57, 60% now.
Yeah, great counter barrage there from Amon. You don't see that too much, just barraging the Bob, but great play. Took out the threat instantly. Yeah,
immediately slowing the push. They were going to use Bob to engage onto the point, but once Bob died, they lost all the space that he gained.
And the counter out was too much. Now it looks like Cal's in a very good spot with ultimates. That orbital coming online. Stella does fall very low. No recall forced yet.
Cal has 3 major ultimates coming up here. There's the Orbital Ray. Let's see if Enigma decides to use Terra Surge here, pushing UCSB into the far
Discord
room.
pops that Terra Surge. Both the supports instantly fall.
And it is now one fight territory. This might be the round going towards the way of Cal.
Yep, that looks like it'll be the map. You know, touch will be very difficult. Pretz does have a first touch here. Looks like Santa Barbara, though, has sort of given up, opting to stay on the same composition.
Has access to, almost access to the Orbital Ray and Transcendence, but can they even touch? Able to touch here. Let's see if the supports can stay alive long enough to utilize.
Somehow Santa Barbara finds picks onto both of the DPS. Orbital Ray coming out from Hydro.
Transcendence nearly up here.
And Santa Barbara's able to flip this somehow.
And there's Transcendence here. Major healing advantage here for UCSB. Let's see if they can turn this around and get the picks on to Cal to equalize this fight. Dolphin goes down here, now focusing onto Enigma. Both smokes of Cal going down, or both supports going down. Tank going down for Cal. It's only the DPS left. UCSB have somehow been able to turn this fight around.
Wow, that, you know, I thought the Orisa pick, you know, map is over. Orisa's not going to be able to touch in time, but Pretz was able to stay alive long enough on point to really stall that out for Orisa to come back with both of Santa Barbara's support ults.
Somehow, some way, UCSB supports a bit of unsung heroes here. How were they able to stay alive that long and build up their support ults?
Yeah, likely a bit of an overextension from Cal. There's both of their DPS were picked off early. Looks like Amon is going back over to the Venture, you know, a much more standard pick for this close quarters map compared to Garden and Night Market.
Yeah, from UCSB we've got the cast, we've got Venture on Cal. The UCSB has been sticking with the Zen. Do you think the value of the Discord Orb onto Enigma is worth it?
Yeah, I think Santa Barbara's been able to pump in so much damage into Enigma that it's been very difficult for him to really do anything.
Now we see Venture here. Amon taking up space in this room here to the right of the point.
Both Ursas falling low. A lot of their utility forced early. Santa Barbara seems to take the early advantage with positioning, but Cal's able to wrap back around towards point.
Now a little Tracer duel. This might decide it. Amon, however, finds a pick onto Hydro. Cal completely collapsing onto UCSB, finding their entire team.
Yeah, somehow Stella's also able to find Pretz there, even though Pretz has the advantage with Orb of Harmony on him. Great stuff from from Cal there. You know, I think with the Zen, especially with Orb of Harmony out of the picture, there's just so much less healing. They're able to kind of run over this front line. That is the disadvantage to the Zen pick.
Yeah, and Cal's choice of picking Venture there has a bigger advantage going to those brawly team fights where everyone's sort of in a death ball.
Enigma holding up actually very aggressive. Not sure about this play. Discord and Pulse very low, but somehow is able to kill Citric behind cover.
Huge pick there from Enigma. Gonna stall out percentage a little more. Amon falling dangerously low here, but UCSB isn't able to capitalize.
Yeah, Enigma still opting to hold up very aggressively, even though he almost fell early that fight. Probably looking to pop a Terra Surge here as Santa Barbara walks in. Orbitory comes out from smoke. And yeah, it looks like Enigma's trying to make a move here. It falls very low through the Transcendence. Both Orissas traded out. Stella gets a nice stick onto Citric in the backline. And that might be the fight.
Another fight going the way.
Pret somehow is able to trade out Stella, forcing point here. Has Postmon available, a great stick onto the Brig.
Equalizing completely alone. Pretz allowing UCSB to get out of the choke, get out into main, and straight onto the point.
Great stuff from Pretz. They're really turning the fight. Just solo, yeah, and Cal's already forced off point here.
And now UCSB have 3 major ults to respond with. Every ult here coming out from both sides.
Enigma just instantly melted though because of Kai's Terra Surge. You know, looks like Santa Barbara had the advantage, but no, somehow.
Dolphin in the DPS of Cal able to find picks onto UCSB's backline. Cal not able to peel for his backline enough to get the damage that he needed.
Santa Barbara just invested so much there into killing Enigma. They didn't have much left for the rest of the fight, and they just fell instantly.
Now they're coming up on 90%. Does UCSB have a touch here?
All they have available is the High Noon, not much to work with.
96%. Looks like Pretz is going to be able to touch, but he falls.
Amon Pence, early pick, that is huge, and that will be the map for Cal. A good, very strong looking first map for Cal. You know, they did stutter on Gardens there, but I think, you know, they really had the upper hand there, even though they kind of blundered that last fight away.
Yeah, I think when Cal's team composition really played into the map strength on these 3 separate control maps, they were able to take utter dominance. We saw the first 2 maps were actually incredibly close, going 88-100, 88-100, but the last one, when Cal was just able to snowball off of their advantage, they took it 100-0.
And yeah, they forced the Zen into much more close quarters, you know, on Control Center. Much smaller map. So I think it was a lot more difficult for the Zen to find value for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, do you think Santa Barbara maybe should have swapped off the Zen, or maybe should have made a different change to their team composition?
Yeah, I wonder, because, you know, Brig Juno is very, very meta right now. So I wonder how much they've been playing this Zen Juno. Maybe they don't have a very confident main support player, or maybe they just have found it's better for them. But I wonder if they're going to have to consider swapping off that pick.
Yeah, especially on those more brawly maps where Zen, like you said, close quarters maps where Zen can't find a lot of value in his longer range projectiles, where Brig would have found a lot of value in those close quarter fights. Yeah,
it looks like we're moving to Suravasa for our next map, which is a very interesting pick from Santa Barbara. I think they'll still be able to run the Zen here. I won't be surprised if they force it, but Berkeley might also roll out on that Venture Tracer, making it very difficult for Lego to really play much at all. No space to work with. Flanker's always coming for him.
It'll definitely be another game of adaptation. If what UCSB does works, can Cal adapt to it? Because it seemed like neither team really made too many adaptations besides the Venture pick. And I feel like all the changes that they made were just preset. They were going to run those comps regardless of what the other team ran. Yeah,
we only really saw hit scan swaps and then, you know, that flex DPS over to the Venture. I think okay, looks like Kai is actually getting subbed out here, so we might be seeing a very different team comp, maybe something moving away from the Orisa, potentially onto Queen or something else. So we'll have to see. Yeah, Kuzi in now for Santa Barbara.
Now, as we begin to enter on this map, Suravasa, what kind of comps do you expect to see from both teams?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Enigma rolls out on the Orisa again, although they could move over to Queen. A lot of teams really like to play Queen. I think Venture also very popular here. Although, Far's surprising pick for Cal, I wonder if they'll stay on it, you know. Suravasa is, you know, many of the points are very close quarters, especially first point, so it's a little bit difficult for Far to find space to work with. So Kuzi actually on the ball, and Santa Barbara opting for a Brig Zen comp. I guess that's, you know, Hydra's their main support player, but it also looks like their Juno player, so that's likely the reason why they're running Zen Juno. Brig Zen's very uncommon backline, aside from with ball composition, so we'll see how Cal plays against this very unfamiliar comp.
Yeah, this will be the first time we've seen ball utilized, Wrecking Ball utilized in this tournament, as well as the first Flashpoint map we've seen in this tournament, so this should be very interesting.
Both teams opting to actually rotate to far side of point here. Kuzi rolling through, getting some ult charge, nothing major. And looks like both teams are just kind of taking this slow. Cal is able to take early control of point here, and they will have control when point opens.
Let's see what Citric can do to counter this Pharah pick of Amon here. Can he put enough pressure onto the Pharah?
Kuzi falling very low trying to contest this point and is not able to stall it out.
Same with Citric, but however, smoke falls, but Citric's traded out. Kuzi gets Amon there, diving onto Dolphin, who falls dangerously low.
Kuzi finding another kill onto Enigma. Lego Dude finishing off Dolphin. Looks like, yep, Stella will fall there.
UCSB able to take the first fight there.
Very split play from Santa Barbara, but it works out very well. Cal is kind of all over the place, and yeah, Amon has swapped over to the Venture. You know, potentially to counter-engage on the Santa Barbara backline, who's actually very stationary compared to their front line.
Yeah, I feel like Cal definitely probably also isn't very experienced fighting Wrecking Balls on this map. Wrecking Ball, a bit of an uncommon pick in general here.
Assistance would be appreciated.
Yep, Kuzi forcing an early recall from Stella will take a lot of the aggression off of the Santa Barbara backline, though.
There's a great traveling coming out onto Citric, falls dangerously low. However, he is able to get away. Stella build up the pulse bomb here, while Lego almost up to Transcendence, but Stella finds Citric with the pulse bomb, and Hydro falls. Lego Dude only able to trade out Smoke, but also Dolphin, both supports of Cal falling here, while UCSB's ult economy is thriving.
Discord comes onto Enigma. Enigma's able to cut it away, though, but Enigma does fall low. Pretz and Lego trying to burn that Orisa, but it's not working as Stella counter-engages onto Lego, forcing a Transcendence. Santa Barbara's going to still try and fight this. Pretz misses the pulse. Enigma pops the Terra Surge, but doesn't find anything. Enigma's still very, very low on point.
Incredibly scrappy fight here. We can see the proximity mines from Kuzi online, Rally online from Hydro.
Citric almost finding the kill on the smoke. Pretz is able to finish it off.
Minefield deployed here. Let's see what other ultimates UCSB wants to invest, but they don't need any more. They are able to capture away the point from Cal. Definitely want to fight territory for this first point.
Yeah, Cal had such an early flip there that even though this is the second time Santa Barbara's had point, you know, they only have 60%.
Cal has Orbital Ray and Riley here for this last fight. Hopefully on this first point. Let's see what UCSB can do. Is Rally enough for them to sustain?
I wonder if Cal will just try and force point here again, you know, like they did last time with an early cap. Because Santa Barbara can't afford to give all that space again. Since Cal's already at 99%. Yeah, Cal on point. They popped up a satellite vector.
Rally comes out from both sides. Let's see what Citric can do with his Deadeye if he decides to invest it here.
Kuzi just trying to stay alive among the double support ult from Cal. Cal does get the flip onto point.
Deadeye comes out. Let's see what he can find. Trying to use his ult to gain space for his team here. Doesn't find anything with his High Noon.
Amon is vulnerable here. Oh, but pops the Tectonic Shock. Stella finding a pulse onto Citric. Amon cleaning up Pretz. Kuzi just trying to stall things out on point, getting as many touches as he can, but that'll be first point for Cal.
Lego deciding to invest Transcendence.
Just a little bit too late. Both DPS had already fallen.
And now Cal with a slight ultimate advantage here with the Terra Surge online.
Santa Barbara's just really struggling to maintain point control with the Ballberg Zen comp. It's really, you know, maybe not optimal for Flashpoint, because what can you do when Cal just forces point? They have too many resources. Can't really burn that Orisa.
Cal, like you said, Cal just keeps forcing onto the point, holding it, while UCSB, with their although their comp may be incredibly mobile, they can't really hold the space as well when Cal just forces it.
And once again, Cal's already on point. They see where Lego is playing from, trying to force him out early. Yeah, Enigma making moves onto the Santa Barbara backline. Pretz is trying to get a touch on the point here. Kuzi engaging as well. Pretz looking for that pulse bomb. Finds a pick onto Smoke, even though Smoke gets the packs from Dolphin. But still, Santa Barbara cannot make a move onto point yet. Cal still has control of point. Okay, Citric is able to find Dolphin there. This looks like it will be the fight for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, this seems like what UCSB's playstyle is going to have to be. They're going to need to hopefully rely on Pretz and Kuzi to try and dive Cal's backline to hopefully let them gain the space that Enigma, Stella, and Amon are holding so well.
Yeah. And Citric can't really get involved like he'd like to because, you know, it's kind of his job to protect the Zen break backline. Very, very vulnerable, especially to the Venture Tracer frontline from Cal.
And now Cal has Terra Surge getting close to Orbital Ray, whereas UCSB has Proximity Mines, Pulse Bomb, and getting close to Rally and Transcendence. Let's see if these support ults are going to decide this fight.
Cal again already forces that Santa Barbara backline off of point, but Pretz is able to trade out Stella. Lego finding Dolphin early. Mine's coming out from Kuzi. A very dominant fight, actually, from Cal. They timed that re-engage perfectly, letting Cal force them off to point, as Cal has become accustomed to, but taking it back before they can get a flip.
Just finding the picks and bursting down their targets so quickly before the supports can use their ultimates and utility to keep them alive.
Smoke does have the Orbital Ray available here, but Lego has the Transcendence waiting to match. So we'll see how this plays out. Lego's Transcendences have been a little bit late, you know, coming in the 3v5 situation, so we'll see if he can get it on time here for this fight.
Yeah, Lego is going to be the deciding factor between the two. The support also going to be the deciding factor between the two. Pulse Bomb comes out, doesn't find anyone, but is able to get a little bit of stall, a little bit of space. Now it's overtime here for UCSB. What can they do with the high noon?
Orbital, yeah, coming from Smoke, and Pretz is able to find him on. Rally coming out from Dolphin. Cal still wants to fight this down one.
Rally coming out from both sides here. Transcendence still not being used.
Yeah, Santa Barbara feels confident that they have this fight, I think. Yeah, they have. It is forced late in the game, but Enigma is now caught out, a little bit vulnerable. Kuzi's able to actually finish off Smoke with the Transcendence up.
That should be the point for UCSB.
Looks like Santa Barbara has now really gotten down the timing of their re-engages, not allowing Cal to flip one, or really there at all, compared to the first point.
Yeah, they were really able to find a lot of isolations, a lot of good picks to burst down targets, forcing Cal to sort of lose all the space that they were holding so well with the Orisa. Now we see Enigma switching onto the jungle queen.
Yeah, Queen now likely looking to engage more directly onto the Santa Barbara backline instead of poking. Kuzi is in the Cal backline, and Lego is able to find Smoke. Kuzi finding Dolphin. That's the support line gone for Cal.
That should be the first point here for UCSB. First capture onto this third point. Remember, it is first to 3 on Flashpoint.
I have the objective.
Yeah, easy cleanup there from Santa Barbara. Great engage, you know. Cal with the Jungle Queen and the Shout available actually has a little bit more protection for the backline. But still, Kuzi's able to cut through. Same with Lego, you know. So much damage coming out when Zen has space to play with.
Yeah, let's see what Kuzi and Pretz can do with their Pulse Bomb and Proximity Mine. Maybe trying to find an isolated pick here with both of their ultimates.
Yeah, Cal's going to have a difficult time engaging here unless Amon can set something up. Yeah, early Discord into Enigma. Health chunk down, Shout forced. Mine's coming from Kuzi, but Tectonic Shock from Amon forces Santa Barbara back. Enigma is able to find a kill on the Lego, but is traded out for it. Pretz doing work in the Santa Barbara frontline.
Ooh, and Citric falls, but Amon falls to Kuzi's Proximity Mines. Great stick onto Stella there, coming out from Pretz. Smoke getting dangerously low here, being focused by Pretz. Rally coming online. Orbital Ray comes out.
Cal still wants to fight this, but you know, breakdown, it's very, very difficult. Kuzi is able to pick off Smoke, and that'll be, looks like, second point for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I don't think Cal have a touch here. They're going to focus the resources onto the next point.
Amon does look like he's going for it, but ends up backing out here. Cal resetting for next point.
Yeah, let's take this time to look at the ultimate economy here. UCSB has High Noon, has both support ults, whereas Cal coming up on High Noon, coming up on Rampage, and coming up on Rally.
We must focus our attack upon the objective.
Yeah, Santa Barbara's in a very, very good spot here. They don't have to back off, you know, once Cal engages here. They can just pop that rally and stay in the brawl. Not sure. Okay, Cal has an early point control here, though, with better spawns. You know, they opted to not contest, so they went straight to point here. Kuzi will have a difficult time engaging into this Cassidy, though. Scared of that hinder.
Now let's see what they can do. Let's see what UCSB can do on this first engage. This first engage is going to be everything here. Can they find the fight? Finds an isolated fight. On to Stella. Falls. Pretz now taking all the space. Hydro moving forward, but Kuzi falls to Enigma. Rampage comes out.
Great Rampage there from Enigma. Finds two. You know, Citric falls, and Dolphin actually pops the rally as well.
Rally invested. First point capture on this fourth point here goes to Cal. UCSB now has Rally, has Proximity Mines, coming up on Pulse Bomb.
Yeah,
It's going to depend on UCSB.
Cal's really struggling to counter this ball. They swapped over the Torb actually, you know, put that turret down, help protect the back line when Santa Barbara engages.
Yeah, let's see what Santa Barbara can do with this rally. It's going to be an all-out brawl here.
Torb down very early, and Kuzi engages the mines. Rally pop by Hydra as well. Great stick from Pretz, finds him on without the burrow available.
Cal forced to back up. So much utility, so much overwhelming force being put out by UCSB. Pretz does fall, but the rest of them are traded out from Cal, and the point goes to UCSB. Cal able to get 79%, 73% there in one fight territory.
Stella is playing a little bit of Mr. Heroes at this point. Swapped over to the Genji now. I think, you know, maybe to deal with the Cass a bit. You know, Santa Barbara's having some great engages with the Discord, Wrecking Ball, and then Tracer.
Yeah, maybe they just want a stronger ability to counter-engage, counter dive once UCSB also goes in on their backlines. Cal coming up on Orbital right here, coming up on Tectonic Shock. Shout comes out.
Santa Barbara does a very good job kiting that axe, but Stella is able to find two still. Finds a third onto Dolphin.
And that is what Cal was looking for with the Genji's ability to engage with the rest of the team.
Yeah, once Enigma forces out the utility from Santa Barbara's backline, Stella really has free reign.
He's just able to burst down targets so quickly, and Cal coming up on 95%. UCSB does choose to contest here.
Looks like Kuzi and Pretz will both be on point here, both falling low though. Most of their utility force. Enigma will find a kill on the Kuzi. Armand does end up popping that Tectonic Shock, but you know, Cal will have no difficulty securing this point.
We're going to a 5th round here on this Flashpoint map. UCSB has Transcendence for the first fight, has Pulse Bomb, has High Noon, has Proximity Mines, whereas Cal coming up on Rampage, Rally, and Orbital Ray. This is going to be an all-out ultimate fight for the first capture.
Yeah, Rampage really has the ability just to negate Transcendence, so we'll see how Lego chooses to use that, maybe just to save his own life, or waiting till after Enigma is forced to pop the Rampage. Looks like Santa Barbara will actually have early control of the backup point here, but Cal running onto point, kind of putting the backline of Santa Barbara in a very awkward spot.
And the Rampage comes on. There goes the Transcendence, but there goes the Rampaging kind. Everyone in the Transcendence falls due to the ante. However, High Noon gets one, Pulse Bomb gets one, and Lego finds Amon.
Cal is able to cap there, but I don't know if he'll be able to hold on to this. They do have a numbers disadvantage. Oh, Stella decides to pop the blade. Almost finds took onto Lego, but falls before he can get it.
Now Kuzi has the Harmony Orb healing, but falls dangerously low. Doesn't decide to invest Proximity Mines.
Cal decides to pop the Orbital here. Somehow Santa Barbara's not been able to close out this fight yet, despite being up 2.
How are they able to hold it? How is Cal able to hold the point space so well?
Even with Kuzi Mines on point, Kuzi still falls low, is about to die. Stella does finish up that kill.
That might even be another full reset for UCSB here.
Great stuff from the Cal frontline, just playing to stay in that. Stella and Enigma stalling out for so long until reinforcements can arrive.
Lego
dude. Stagger onto Lego. And Stella finding 2 more kills.
Practically another fight won there for the price. 2 for the price of 1.
Santa Barbara does have ultimates available, but it'll be a very difficult task to touch this and stay along live enough for Lego to come back to point.
Less than 5 seconds here for the touch. All relies on Pretz being able to touch the point here. 98, 99. Kuzi does touch. Hydra has the rally. Lego dude's coming up on the Transcendence. Can they pop it enough?
Yeah, rally pop from Hydra. We'll be able to get on point with that. Discord onto Stella. Stella going very low and is bursted down.
Online.
This fight is looking actually very good for Santa Barbara. They still have the Transcendence available.
Enigma falls.
Citric is able to trade out Citric, but Pretz finds a stick onto Amon, and that'll close out the fight.
And now Santa Barbara with their first capture here does still have Transcendence, but Cal has that Rampage and the Tectonic Shock to completely negate the ult.
Yeah, Cal is really just looking for a Rampage onto Cassidy and Brig. If the Rampage can hit both of those targets, that can be a very, very easy map win for Cal.
And the longer this fight goes on, the closer Cal's going to get. They almost have Rally. They're closer to Orbital Ray than one might think.
Cal with early point control once again. Kuzi trying to touch. Still at full health. Very aggressive Rampage coming out from Enigma. Transcendence comes out, but Hydra still falls through it. The backline, however, for Santa Barbara is traded out, and Citric finds a kill into Stella. It looks like this fight's going the way of Santa Barbara.
Wow. A lot of good and ultimate usage for Cal there, but UCSB just able to turn the fight on its head, counter dive the backline of Cal.
Dolphin just did not have time to pop the rally there. Looks like Stella will be able to get a touch in here, and Dolphin coming in with the rally. Hopefully that'll keep Smoke alive long enough to pop the orbital ray.
Kuzi, however, going to be able to build up his proximity mines to get a lot of space on the point. Rally's going to come out, and let's see if they can keep his team long enough to stall for the orbital ray.
80% of that orbital ray. Smoke really just trying to build it as fast as possible. Mines coming in from Kuzi will zone off point for the most part. Kuzi is able to find them on.
Dolphin gets traded out.
Dolphin. Smoke has 92 to orbital, but it looks like it's going to be too late.
Dangerously low here, gets traded out. No orbital ray, and that is going to be the map going towards UCSB. An incredibly close map, going all 5 rounds.
This will be our first non-3-0 map of the tournament. And yeah, Santa Barbara did a great job. You know, they really struggled at first with gaining point control, but they kind of adapted. Kuzi and Pretz were able to have a very impactful touches, able to get picks in the backline and keep the pressure up when Cal tried to aggress onto the Santa Barbara front backline.
Yeah, and I like to put a lot of emphasis on Kuzi and Pretz able to get the space onto the backline, getting those massive picks onto Cal's backline, because like you said, what they were struggling most with against UCSB's Cal's Orisa and Junker Queen was the amount of space that they weren't able to hold due to their ball pick. But they were able to adapt to that. Completely turn the fights on their head by going for the backline, not completely ignoring, but sort of kiting the front line of Cal to isolate the backline.
Yeah, what did you think about that adaptation, swapping over to the Junker Queen? I thought initially, good play. Rampage really cancels out Transcendence, but do you think that worked out for Berkeley? You think they would have been better off on the Orisa there?
I think Berkeley's Orisa was able to really effectively hold space, sort of put a lot of pressure onto their DPSs and backline to really punish the dives of Wrecking Ball and Tracer onto their own backline. So it's by switching to the Junker Queen, they put a lot of more pressure onto the enemy team, but they weren't able to hold space nearly as well.
Yeah, Junker Queen just has so much less CC available. Spear from Orisa provides a lot more CC onto Ball, sometimes onto Tracer. So yeah, I think they really, really struggle to fend off that Ball. I think that's why we saw the Torb switch just for a brief moment for one fight mid-map there. I wonder how Berkeley will respond. I think they really did not like the Ball pick, so I bet they'll take us somewhere where Ball is not quite viable.
Yeah, maybe more of a pokey map, brawling map. And it looks like we're going on to Midtown. That's going to be a hybrid.
Yeah, so I don't think, Ball's going to be a very tough pick onto Midtown. I wouldn't be surprised if both teams run Orisa again. Queen, a little bit of a difficult pick, a lot of distance to close. So I think, would not be surprised if we went back to the Brig Zen comp for Santa Barbara, or Zen Juno.
Yeah, I do expect to see what kind of tanks would you say you expect to see?
Probably Orisa. Some teams try Junker Queen out, but it's really not that great. Occasionally you see a Sigma, but not really in this meta. So we will see.
And Kai has been subbed back in for Kuzi. And what do you think that means? I think that means Kai really liked the Orisa pick.
Yeah.
So like you said, I kind of expect to see double Orisas here, especially on the first point hold.
Yeah, I expect another very brawly Orisa type composition. The Zen from Santa Barbara will really enable Kai to play aggressive onto Enigma and try and burst Enigma down.
What do you think is the most important piece of the map here to hold this first point?
I think it really depends on the composition. It looks like Cal's going for a Sig comp here, so I think, Sig, Bap, Zen. Santa Barbara really wants to prevent Cal from being able to use range on this comp, The Bap Zen provides so much poke damage, especially with Ashe, with Pharah. The more space Cal has to work with, the worse for Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara's opting, for the cast, a little bit more close range. That'll be good against the Pharah, but we'll see how it fares, against an aggressive Orisa, able to close space with Fortify, able to cancel out the Hinder.
Yeah, like you said, this really pokey comp with a lot of longer range damage, especially on the Discord, is going to put a lot of pressure onto Kai to stay alive. So much damage is going to be coming at him. And we need to see what he does with the cover.
Yeah, Santa Barbara opting for a very standard hold here, They don't want to give range for Cal to poke. We'll see if Cal tries to push in to take space or wants to poke from afar.
Barrier immediately broken for Enigma, trying to take this space under the train.
Looks like Enigma is going to try and sort of rotate around with the help of Amon, but Pretz behind will make this very difficult. Amon's going to challenge Pretz actually. Pretz able to find a health pack before having recall full. Still is healthy with recall available. Great stuff there from Pretz.
Cal pretty effectively able to take this space here under the truck, able to get out of that annoying choke point that UCSB would able to pressure a lot. Finding a pick onto Lego, finding a pick onto Pretz. So much space, probably going to be engaging onto the point here.
Yeah, we weren't spectating there. You know, we were focused on the far tracer duel, but in that time, Cal was really able to take space, allow Stella to have these long sight lines where the Cal comp really thrives.
Yeah, Cal, their Poke comp definitely doesn't even rely that much on ultimates. They were able to take so many picks without even that much utility, just focusing solely on the poking.
Yeah, they just have so many sources of damage. It's hard, you know, you can't just focus on the Ashe because, you know, Babs then can dual DPS easily with Discord Orb.
Yeah, now UCSB does have the Orbital Ray online already before anyone else, so let's see if they decide to utilize it to take back the point as fast as possible.
Citric swapping over to the Ashe here, but Enigma's doing a great job of poking him out, forcing him back, not letting him take any sight lines onto cart. Same with, you know, yeah, the Pharah Sigma poke onto high ground is very brutal, even though it's not likely to need any kills onto Santa Barbara, it just prevents them from doing much.
And their all the poking they're doing is building up their ult charge so much. Cal coming up on all 5 ults, whereas UCSB only has the supports.
Pretz is doing a good job here at contesting cart, but recall is forced, and Amon is able to find that kill. Lux coming out from Enigma. Lego does counter with Trans, but Pretz has already fallen. Window coming out from Dolphin, and Citric is somehow able to find Amon, despite all the damage coming out from the window. Cal still thinks they can win this. They drop the Bob.
Smokes finds Citric here, and Enigma finds Kai. So much, somehow, Cal decides they have the mental fortitude. They know they can win this fight, even with some picks. They decide to invest the ultimates, and it works out.
Pretz is able to actually find a great pick on Estella, though. This will make the final part of this point a very difficult fight for Cal. They do have Transcendence available, they do have Barrage available, but will it be enough without Stella? Kai's actually swapping over to the Monkey here to try and counter dive. There's a lot of damage on the side of Cal, so Monkey is a very risky pick.
Now let's see what Amon can do with this Rock Barrage. Can he get it off before the Orbital Ray comes out?
Citric is having a difficult time playing range, though. The threat from Smoke, from Stella, from Amon, everyone is threatening the Ashe from Santa Barbara.
Now Pretz on sort of an off-angle flank here, trying to look for a good Pulse Bomb pick, whereas Amon focusing onto... But Citric finds Stella. Immortality comes out, but it's broken immediately.
Yeah, Enigma is able to find a great eat, though, onto Pretz and shut Pretz down. But falling low to Kai on this Monkey.
But Citric falls to Smoke. That poke of the Zen cannot be trifled with.
Both tanks very low. Discord Orbs on both of them.
Orbital Ray comes out, Transcendence comes out, Barrage comes out, and Kai falls. This looks like it's going the way of Cal.
Yeah, great counter Transcendence from Smoke there, able to fully counter Hydra's Orbital Ray. Hydra falling very low, able to back up though. Pretz still trying to make a contest here. Recall Force though. Lego is able to kill Stella though, but Enigma trades out Pretz.
Transcendence comes out, Bob is still available.
Very risky Transcendence from Enigma, but falls too low with the Discord Orb and is picked off before he can get it off.
Now UCSB able to just barely hold Cal before they're able to capture the second checkpoint.
Yeah, great stabilization there with Lego's Transcendence. Looks like they're going to be able to stagger onto the Cal backline.
Very good stagger here onto Cal's supports. Now UCSB has Bob, has Primal for a lot of sustain. They're going to be able to contest this point for a very long time.
Yeah, Cal does have a healthy time bank here though, so they have time to build up ults. Amon swaps over to the Genji now to play a little bit more aggressive onto that Santa Barbara backline, maybe challenge Citric just a little bit more.
Only closest supportal out of all the both teams. Let's see what he can do with this Transcendence to keep this team alive.
Looks like Kai and Pretz are setting up for an engage here. Kai actually backs down, back on a point, but has the Primal available, so is not scared of an aggressive engage here. Backline for Santa Barbara is playing very far back. Kai engages, not letting Cal walk out into open space. Looks like
Cal can do.
Santa Barbara's going to take a slow fight here. A lot of CC going on to Kai. Primal Rage is going to be forced. Stella falling low.
Cal trying to find the pick here onto Smoke, but the Immortality field comes out, forces out Transcendence, really good, but Lego Dude finds a pick onto Enigma in the meantime.
Great discipline from Smoke though, waiting for the last second to use that Transcendence. Amon is able to trade out Pretz. You see Cal actually swapping over to the Ramantra here. Dolphin somehow able to find Kai still, down their tank even. But
Forcing
Bob comes
Bob
out from Santa Barbara. think Santa Barbara is able to stabilize here, but no, Stella hitting some great shots with a bob of his own.
Deciding to invest it, but he gets stuck by Pretz here. Although Stella does find Citric, the Transcendence from UCSB is forced out to contest this point here. Orbital Ray coming online. Cal's double damage field does come online, but he's getting focused by Pretz.
Great kill from Pretz there, shutting down all of the value from Dolphin's window. But Amon is able to trade out Lego. Pretz finding Cal's Zen in turn. Looks like this fight is going again for UCSB.
UCSB somehow able to invest Orbital Ray, invest Transcendence to continue holding Cal at the second checkpoint that they're just barely not able to get now with 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, once, you know, Cal starts losing members, they can't win these long drawn-out fights. Spawn is just too close for Santa Barbara. Stella on the cast, you know, we'll see what he can do, you know. It's a little bit difficult for him to get damage onto the Cal back or the Santa Barbara backline, but he can put damage into Monkey, Kai on Monkey.
Amon here going to be looking for the pick to build up his Dragon Blade, and Enigma trying to get as close as he can to that Annihilation so he can contest the point for as long as possible.
Enigma going aggressive onto the Santa Barbara backline, is not able to find anything though. Cal across the board is very low, both TPs very low. Dolphin 1 HP, Pretz is able to finish that off. Pulse Point visible. Great stick onto Stella, is able to finish or Stella.
Dangerously low. If smoke goes down, so will Enigma. Enigma does find Hydro, does
Enigma
find
finds
Pretz.
two, Amon finding a third.
Oh my god, Enigma able to turn that entire fight around with his with his Nemesis form.
Yeah, Santa Barbara really prioritized everyone but that Ramatra. Ramatra though, with so much health available, and even Annihilation still available. Just too much health to counter.
And now Cal, after capturing that checkpoint, trying to take advantage of these long sight lines, immediately swap Stella onto the Widowmaker.
Citric also responding with a Widowmaker pick though. This will be very interesting to see who can maintain better map control. The Monkey versus the Ramatra. Kai does force out Stella's Widowmaker, but and Pretz is having a little bit of difficulty in the backline, but is able to secure the kill with the help of Citric onto Stella.
Now Transcendence about to come online. However, Cal's Orbital Ray about to come online too. This is going to be a counter support ult.
Enigma falling very low, and Citric does have free reign until Stella gets back.
Orbital Ray comes out, and UCSB trying to counter for that space, but Citric finds a pick onto Enigma with a nice shot, a massive pick. Cal can no longer hold any of that space that they were trying to get.
That is devastating for Cal. Amon going aggressive with the blade though, trying to salvage this fight. It's likely he's not going to be able to make an engage though. Primal Rage coming off from Kai.
Rally does come online, but Citric finds a massive pick onto Smoke here. Most of the heal's gone, no speed gone. Rally comes out to try and salvage this and contest the point, but UCSB's Override comes online too.
Stella is still down now for Cal. Citric still has an opportunity to make a play here. Looks like Enigma's going to try and walk, but Annihilation expires. Cannot get onto Citric in time.
However, he was able to take a lot of space, but Pretz dives into the backline, uses his Pulse Bomb on the Dolphin. That's a huge pick onto the Brigitte here.
And Sights should be able to close this out. Cal just cannot move onto this Widowmaker.
Transcendence is a second too late though. Lego Dude unable to keep Kai alive. And now Amon able to reflect Citric's shot onto his head.
Well, great stuff. Amon finds 3 there somehow, even with sights up. Able to completely negate Citric's map control. And
now this is going to be last fight territory for both teams here. No big ultimates online for either team. Possibly an Orbital Ray if this fight goes on long enough. But this is going to be an all-out brawl.
Amon is able to find Kai. Kai, you know, no choice but to brawl on point here.
Stella even swapping to the Reaper for the better brawl. Close quarters, contesting the point, finding Lego Dude, finding Press.
Wow, Smoke and Amon are really able to clean up this last fight. You know, once Kai's out of the picture, Santa Barbara is just so squishy. There's nothing they can do, especially against Ramatra.
I think that was a great decision by Stella there, identifying that every ultimate was used, and that they were close enough to the final point that Widow sidelines weren't very effective. So we swapped onto the Reaper.
Just so much damage coming out onto point, and Santa Barbara just did not have time to respond to that pick. You see they moved over to the Queen for last fight. You know, Monkey's a little bit too vulnerable to Reaper, but it just was not enough.
Now, though Cal was able to fully push, but they were put into overtime. So UCSB's goal, of course, is to push all the way, but their main goal is to push with over a minute remaining, so that there is no draw potential.
Yeah, Cal staying on the Sigma. from last map, swapping back over to the Sigma. And yeah, looks like Kai's actually going to opt for the Ramattra here. It's going to be very difficult for Santa Barbara to close distance onto this long-range poke comp, especially with Amon on Torp. There's just going to be so much damage coming through choke. We'll see how Kai manages to get around that.
Yeah, let's see what Citric can do on this Widowmaker. What picks can he find onto the long-range poke? He knows Cal's focus is on that long-range poke damage. So can he possibly find somebody overextend?
Yeah, the Tracer will have a very difficult time on Santa Barbara's side, just dealing with that Torp turret if Amon has good placement.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot heavy on the shoulders of Citric to find those picks.
Tracer going up for early high ground, looking like she wants to push through Train, but no, decides to take left side on the low ground. Stella's playing a very cautious angle here. They've scouted the Widow by now. Pretz is able to actually take out the Torp turret, allowing him a lot more freedom.
Yeah, a lot less pressure onto Pretz here, who is a low health character.
Looks like Citric actually misses the grapple there, and Pretz is forcing some aggression onto point, forcing Amon's utility, but and that Torp turret is still down.
And Citric here trying to find the angles under, does find a headshot, nice shot onto Amon.
Yeah, Kai just taking this very slow, knowing that, you know, every inch he moves forward gives Citric more angles to find more picks. That's 2 for Citric, make it 3. Great stuff there, you know. Kai is just kind of a damage sponge. With that block up, though, he can sustain for quite a while, allowing Citric just to make a huge play there.
Pretz also does incredible work destroying the turret and annoying the flank to put Cal out of position.
Yeah. Cal really struggled once, you know, dealing with Pretz. Pretz didn't even die there. You know, you'd think with this comp he'd be very punished. But no, and Pretz finds an early kill into Amon, shutting down Santa Barbara's hold of this high ground potentially. Or, you see Cal's hold of this high ground.
That's going to be a lot of space. Cal even swapping Stella onto the Widowmaker, deciding that the Widow duel here is much more important on these long angles for Cal to hold that high ground. They cannot hold the high ground as long as the Widow's alive.
Pretz's postpone does force an earlier mortality field, so Cal has not too much to work with here. Still pretty far from Transcendence. Sights come out from Santa Barbara, giving them a big advantage here in the Widow duel. And Pretz is applying a lot of pressure to Stella on the back line, taking away a lot of attention from the Santa Barbara front line.
Santa Barbara, though, does have both support ults here for this next big fight. Double damage window does come out.
Dalton with a very risky window. Doesn't wait quite until sights expire, but sights are now down now. Stella still finds a pick on a Pretz, but Citric trading out smoke. Looks like this will still just be a Widow duel. You know, Citric's playing so far back that Cal can mostly avoid it, but if they peek into Citric's sight lines, they risk losing this fight.
Yeah, and same for UCSB until...
Ooh, great grapple shot there from Stella. Finds Citric, not quite looking at him. Citric does not have time to react.
Yeah, and UCSB immediately back off. They can't take as much space as they want as long as Citric's alive, and he finds another nice shot on the Hydra. That's what happens when they try to engage onto that high ground without the pressure of their own Widowmaker.
And Cal's now reestablished themselves on this high ground. It'll be difficult for Citric to get good angles like he had before. Both tank holds actually, though, are online. So Kai potentially looking for an aggressive annihilation, Enigma potentially looking to counter that with his own flux.
Stella does have sights too, so he's going to pop them to put as much pressure on he can on the enemy Widow.
But Stella doesn't even need sights, finds Pretz without their help. Finds a great shot onto Hydra, that is insane.
And now UCSB unable to take any of this space that they were once trying to get. Stella finding some insane shots, not even using sights to put the pressure onto UCSB.
Yeah, Cal's whole thing is looking very healthy. Oh my god, finds another kill onto Citric, but is traded out by Lego.
And I think UCSB will take this opportunity to push the cart, engage. Now both Widows are dead. It's an all-out brawl. UCSB, though, does have every ult online, same with Cal.
Pretz forcing cart while Kai is trying to take high ground here. Getting poked out, though, hit with the rock. Flux coming out from Enigma. Catches a few, but Lego pops his trans in response.
Stella does find Pretz on the flank, though. Amon tries to respond with blades, but Citric
great
finds
headshot
him.
there from Citric onto Amon.
Both sides coming out. The trade of sights now. Both Widows have immense pressure on them.
Kai forcing Cal off of the high ground. Has his annihilation available. Is going to pop it. Stella's, though, somehow able to find Hydro. Trans coming out from smoke. And Santa Barbara's going to actually fail to win this fight with the use of their annihilation. A lot of ults expended from both teams, but Cal is in a little bit of a better position now, staggering Citric. and they have the window available for next fight.
UCSB just having such a difficult time taking control of that high ground as long as Stella's alive. It seems like they're able to take it. They're able to push off. They're able to push Cal off the high ground, but Stella's just able to find a pick every time.
Yeah, it's both of these Widows are just doing so much, but it looks like Stella's just able to really hold it down for Cal, you know. When Citric trades, or Citric gets a pick, Stella trades it out.
And now Pretz with the pulse bomb online and Cal with the double damage field online. Let's see what they can do with this poke.
Looks like Pretz is just still trying to force point here while Kai works Cal off high ground. Pretz goes for the pulse, doesn't find anything. And
now
Kai does take the space on high ground here.
UCSB finally able to take that high ground, but let's see what Stella can do to counter that.
Citric
Dolphin does fall.
Able to find a great pick on a Dolphin. Stella does trade it on to Pretz, but Pretz finds smoke before he dies. This
UCSB.
window is still up. Stella finds another on to Kai, but Lego trades out Enigma. Stella finding a third pick, negating all of Citric's impact. That's a fourth for Stella. Stella has completely shut down the Santa Barbara push.
Every single time it seems
And a
like
fifth.
UCSB has taken enough space to finally push the cart.
Stella
Stella
has
comes
just
out with a
decided
multi-kill.
to solo carry this point for
You
Cal.
didn't like my
Everything that
presents?
Citric does. Citric is putting on a great performance, but Stella is just doing so much more.
Citrus he's doing his job. He's putting the pressure on, but Stella's just finding these outlandish picks.
It doesn't even matter that Santa Barbara's on the Tracer. They cannot touch Stella. Kai.
Pretz multiple times has tried to flank, but Stella somehow kills him every time.
Santa Barbara going for the same play here, forcing Cal off high ground, trying to guarantee some space for Citric. Stella playing from the same location here. Stella has the shield available, though. Makes this Widow do a very advantageous, almost find the kill onto Lego Dude.
Now
Pretz.
it's all on Pretz. Putting enough pressure onto Stella, and now
Citric finds a-
Citric able to find Dolphin. Pretz doing a great job of dancing around Stella, distracting him.
Enigma does find the kill on the Citric. Can Stella close this out now for Cal? Enigma finds another on to Kai.
Sights online, Amon falls.
Stella-
Smoke falls, and now it's Stella with his sights. What can he do?
Enigma somehow kills Lego there. Hydra, though, trading out Enigma. It is just Widowmaker and Bap, though, versus the Juno. But they have a big advantage here, and Dolphin's able to kill Hydro.
Last touch comes in from Pretz. Barely
Yeah.
able to make it, but he falls now. But the Ramatra does come back here, and he's unable to touch.
Just too late. Even that fight, Stella, you know, found no kills, but did so much by just being alive, you know? I think Santa Barbara was a little bit scarred there from the 5K, the previous fight. You know, they have to respect those sight lines.
Yeah, but let's not forget about the other DPS on Cal. Amon on the Genji, on attack, was able to do some really good work, diving onto the backline, getting the reflect onto Citric.
You know, just very, very strong stuff from Stella there. Really able to stabilize.
Yeah, it seemed like UCSB was actually struggling to hold, or Cal was actually struggling to hold the space on that high ground. UCSB was able to consistently push them off, but somehow Stella was just able to find picks to equalize the fight every time.
Yeah, no, it really, you know, on, you know, the first attack, it was not much of a Widow battle, you know. The trade out here, trade here. But Stella really turned it into just a duel of Widowmakers and won it by a lot.
Yeah, I think we could tell on that last point on attack, once both teams swapped onto Widow, we knew the pace of the game was going to be dictated by this for the rest of the time, especially when they picked on it, when UCSB picked on attack the first Widowmaker. That's the way the game was going to go.
Yeah, we'll have to see now what Santa Barbara decides to do to respond to Stella's Widowmaker.
Yeah, I think with the PTSD they might have just incurred from Stella's insane shots, they would probably go the way of a map pick that's not very favorable to Widow.
Yeah, maybe away from something like Gibraltar, which, you know, we know a lot of teams really love. You know, kind of going away from the Orisa meta, going on to, you know, Monkey or Diva, something like that. But I don't think that's going to be really a very viable option for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I think we do. I think we will probably see a more brawly, divey map. Definitely not a pokey, proddy, long angle map. That's good for Widow.
We've seen the DPS of Santa Barbara really thrive, especially with the ball comp. They just need space to work with. So we'll see where Santa Barbara takes us to try and gain back some of that space.
Yeah, and we'll see what Cal can do to respond. Even if it's a bad Widow map, what can their hit scan, what can their DPS and tank do to keep Santa Barbara from taking all the space that they need for the DPS to thrive?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to, you know, more of an Orisa mirror, something like that. you know, just for Santa Barbara to get their footing back. But this is a close match still. Both teams have a good shot. You know, Berkeley does have the upper hand right now, but I think Santa Barbara did look very, very confident on their map pick on Suravasa. So we'll see where they bring us now. Maybe something similar, push, clash, something like that, where they can really brawl.
This is definitely still anyone's game. And remember, after this game, the winner of this game must still win another one to go to LAN. And the loser is guaranteed not making it to LAN. So there's big stakes on this game.
Yeah, both teams, you know, very low seed. They're both really hoping for a chance to make LAN, despite the, you know, their underdog ranking in the beginning.
Yeah, and remember that it is first to 3 here. So assuming UCSB can respond, we're going to go to a map 5.
But yeah, I think Berkeley, though, they do, you know, now kind of maybe they've seen a little bit how to deal, especially if Santa Barbara moves back over to a ball comp. They've seen a little bit how to deal with that ball, tracer, venture, that kind of thing, and will hopefully be able to respond.
And now we see that our new map is going to be a push map. It's going to be New Queen Street.
Yeah, very, very brawly. I think Queen's definitely viable here. Orisa viable. I think it's anyone's game. And actually, Ball is also very viable here, so I would not be surprised to see Kuzi coming back in.
Yeah, who do you expect to see be the most impactful role players in this map?
I mean, it really, really depends on what Santa Barbara decides to run. I think if Kuzi comes in, I think we can really see Pretz shine, because a lot of the aggression was on, a lot of the focus is on Pretz. But yeah, it looks like Kuzi's back in, so we're going to have to watch out for Pretz here. I think, you know, when that ball is in the back line, Pretz has so much freedom, especially with Discord Orb coming out from Lego. There's just not a ton that Cal is able to do against the ball and the tracer at the same time.
Now, as we head into our first push map here, this is going to be the second time we've seen push here.
Yeah, we have not seen too many push picks across this tournament. Looks like Cal is actually opting for a very, very fast-paced comp. We saw UCEI run this, you know, after they dropped their first map to Riverside yesterday, or the first sub-map on Ilios. You know, they went for this very, very fast-paced Queen comp that Riverside was not able to respond to. So we'll see if Santa Barbara has the same issue. You know, the Lucio instead of the Brig just means that Enigma really wants to all in onto this Briggs and backline.
And like you said, UCSB going with that ball pick along with the Zen Brig here. But Pretz finally switching onto the Tracer. This is going to be their default comp. And let's see what Cal can do with his new comp.
Yeah, the Citric Hydro Lego backline is going to be very vulnerable. Enigma going with an early engage. Kuzi is able to find smoke though, even though his own backline is falling very, very low. Inamon is able to find Lego. Enigma finding Citric. You know, both teams traded out their backlines, but it looks like Santa Barbara's been able to wrap back around and take out the Cal front line.
Wow, and a very quick kicks coming out from both sides, but UCSB taking it.
Yeah, Santa Barbara's hit onto the backline was so fast that they were able to wrap back around and kill the front line as well before Cal could respond.
Yeah, this is what we're going to see a lot this game. There's so much speed coming out from both sides, so much dive ability coming out from both sides that every fight is going to be decided so quickly.
Pretz going for an aggressive setup here, trying to pair up with Kuzi, make some space. But it looks like Cal's going to make their way onto Cart for an early contest. Amon sees Santa Barbara backline set up on this high ground, trying to take some space. Stella wrapping around behind. Enigma up in this tunnel. Hits a great knife onto Lego. Lego falling low.
But meanwhile, Kuzi finds Amon to trade onto Cal. And that's the first pick of the fight, though Kuzi is dangerously low here once his shield goes down. Does go back for healing. But neither team making much headway.
Yeah, the Santa Barbara is able to counter-engage solo, but Smoke actually is able to pick off Kuzi there. Kuzi's falling too low on his engage. Enigma finding Citric. And the rest of Santa Barbara crumples so fast. Looks like Cal, you know, had a very shaky first engage. They weren't able to finish off Lego despite a great knife from Enigma. And, you know, Amon was traded out early, but they were able to really reset and recover very well.
Yeah, and Cal relying on these picks here. Once they get a pick, they have so much speed to snowball and collapse onto the enemy team now. Coming up on Rampage, they have Pulse Bomb invested. Nice
Great
shot on the
Citric.
Citric. Now coming up here on the Rampage, getting close to Orbital Ray, but UCSB has both portals to respond as well as Proximity Mines.
See if Santa Barbara wants to fight this, but no, Kuzi is falling so low, just trying to get out at this point. and it looks like Cal will be trying to push for good spawn. Pretz is trying to make a move in the back line, but just cannot get close enough to do anything to smoke. That'll be forward spawn triggered for Cal.
Let's see what UCSB can do with this engage with their support ults and proximity mines.
Looks like Lego's actually yanked off high ground by Enigma. Great knife.
Proximity mines, however, do trade out Dolphin before he can get beat. Enigma finding Hydro here. Looks like the fight's going towards the way of Cal, but who's he trying to re-engage?
Great stuff there from Enigma. Gets the instant cancel onto Hydra's rally. That ultimate is just gone out of sight.
Amon finding an additional pick onto Pretz here. A bit of a stagger. While UCSB now, you were right, they utilized Rally already and cancel it. Now they only have Transcendence to counter this beat and Rampage.
Santa Barbara's going to have a very time holding us despite Cal's disadvantage on the low ground here. Early recall force from Stella, but Rampage coming out from Enigma finds two. Lego does pop Transcendence in response, but Amon is able to finish off both of those targets. Enigma finding Lego after. Kuzi is able to shroud Enigma, but it'll be too late for this fight.
A great dive back on to UCSB, and I think that's what UCSB is really struggling with here. Cal's comp is so mobile that once Cal all in on UCSB, there is no real opportunity to counter dive.
Looks like Cal won't be able to push too far, though. The spawn advantage will be a little bit too heavy for Santa Barbara. They're likely going to want to back off point until they can regroup with their tank.
Lead available, but Dolphin gets taken down before he can use it.
Great slam there, and great follow-up from Pretz. And that'll be an easy shutdown for this fight. Looks like Amon is still on point trying to fight. Somehow escaped, though, through the hinder.
Dangerously low. Pretz now has Pulse Bomb, and Citric has High Noon, whereas Cal has Blade, Pulse Bomb, and Beat still.
Despite the numbers advantage, though, Santa Barbara's a little bit timid to push in, and
comes
Cal
out
goes
along
with a
with
very
Blade.
aggressive deep Blade. Crazy stick coming out, but Amon finds two as well.
Using both DPS ults and Beat there to secure the fight, getting so much more distance. Now it's 106 to 33 meters.
Santa Barbara was not expecting that aggression from Cal. You know, the Beat didn't even wait for High Noon. They waited for no ults from Santa Barbara, took the fight into their own hands, and they have a great position here.
Cal have so much ability to engage, and UCSB are just a little too slow to respond.
Good knife onto Citric there. Smoke does pop the orbital ray. Citric trying to get something with a High Noon, but Amon's deflect is just too much to deal with. Kuzi is able to trade out Dolphin, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough. Pretz is able to actually follow up onto Smoke. The Cal backline is gone.
Enigma falls, and now it's just Pretz and the DPSs, but he falls. UCSB should be able to contest here before there's a complete capture.
Yeah, looks like Santa Barbara will be able to hold on here. Amon actually does find Hydro. Citric able to trade out Stella, though. The spawn advantage will be too much. Santa Barbara will stabilize, but Cal has pushed so far. They are in, you know, if they take an aggressive fight here, they could snowball off one more fight to win this map and win this series.
Yeah, there's a lot of distance here for UCSB to make up. They still need to capture their forward spawn.
Santa Barbara only has 4 minutes, you know, to avoid being knocked out of this tournament, losing their chances of making it to a LAN.
They do have Transcendence online. They are coming up on Rally. They do have Pulse Bomb, but Cal's Pulse Bomb trades out Hydro, but Lego dude's able to find Smoke.
Cal now is very low healing, but Amon is still able to find a kill onto Citric. Amon finding another onto Lego. Amon is just getting so much value on this Genji.
And UCSB cannot allow Cal to continue snowballing here. This could be the game if they don't stabilize.
You know, we see that same matchup, Enigma's Rampage versus Lego's Transcendence, and Enigma has been winning that every single time with the help of Amon. Forward spawn reactivated for Cal.
Are coming up on Rally here, which should be able to pretty effectively counter Amon's Blade, but like you said, it's about who uses Trans first, who uses Rampage first.
The Santa Barbara front line is very, very far in front of Cart, actually. And Enigma looking to engage onto the backline. Shout disengaged, though, looking to peel for his backline, but no, decides to re-engage. Amon is in a little bit of a sticky situation, forced to use all of his utility to get out.
Rally comes out here before Blade is used. Stella falls. Rampage comes out, though. A massive anti onto Citric and Dolphin. Lego dude falls as well, but there's so many trades.
It's an even fight now, though, but with the queen up, Cal is very hard to kill. I don't think they'll be able to cap, though. Pretz does find, you know, Amon there.
It is about whose supports die first here now. Pretz dangerously low, but able to find Dolphin before he falls, and is even able to stabilize here.
Great stuff from Citric there, finding 2. Even though Enigma almost turned that fight, it was just too late. Spawns were too far after Citric had already done the damage.
UCSB able to stabilize once again just before their fate here, but Cal coming up on 4 ultimates, but UCSB also has 4 of their own. Let's see what they can do with them. It's going to be an all-out
Finding an early pick onto Pretz. Will Santa Barbara choose to fight this? Yeah, they do go in with mines from Kuzi. Big minefield, able to find both of the supports.
Isolating both supports so well, leaving Enigma alone, going to fall to Kuzi here. UCSB finally able to stop Cal's snowball, and let's see how much distance they can get off.
Lego's Transcendence is forced, though. That is a big disadvantage for Santa Barbara, especially considering Cal's Rampage is down. That was a great tool for them. Cal will now have a great opportunity. It looks like they're going to go for another potentially beat Blade combo. Amon looking for an opportunity to pop this Blade. Decides instead to just take the 1v1.
Finds Lego Dude and Citric by Dolphin. Hydro falling dangerously low, gets Dolphin but gets traded out. So many picks going the way of Cal.
Very clean fight win for Cal. You know, only forced to use Dolphin's beat. And
Pretz utilizes Pulse Bomb there. There's very low chance that he's able to get a pick next time.
It's a 4v1, you know, very desperate attempts. Maybe just trying to hold them off, setting up a re-engage. You know, Kuzi is back very fast, but not quite fast enough.
UCSB, I don't know if he's going to be able to find anything with this high noon, but he is. It's going to be pretty massive. Finds Dolphin, that's huge, but still Orbital Ray online.
He's going to be traded out, though, by Enigma.
Orbital Ray does come out from the side of Cal, able to get a lot more distance that
Kuzi
SB was able to get.
So low. Enigma is able to finish that off. Cal could be trying to close this map out right here.
They are coming up on Rampage. They have Blade coming up on Pulse Bomb. UCSB need to get Rally here to respond.
Shout comes out from Enigma. Looks like he's not able to find anything. Amon still holding on to that Blade. Rampage just 3% away.
Rally, however, is online. It's all about what UCSB can do to sustain themselves to hopefully get a pick on the Cal. Pulse Bomb comes out, but it's missed. He is dangerously low, though, and Amon is able to find the kill.
Great pressure there from On, forcing Citric to actually take Pulse Bomb advantage. Finds one with the Blade on the rallying Brig. Enigma's able to clean it up. Pretz is able to find the kill into Dolphin, but it's just Pretz and Kuzi here. Kuzi has mines available. Looks like he's looking to set it up, but saves them. Santa Barbara thinks they can stabilize here without the use of mines.
Should be one last fight here. It's all about Lego Dude. If he can get the Transcendence, panic switch onto Widow from Citric here. Discords is able to stabilize.
Lego Dude really doing a great job stabilizing here, trying to hold on to that Transcendence because they have a long road ahead of them if they're going to have a chance here. Finds a third.
And now in overtime, Santa Barbara must stick to the push bot the entire time. They cannot leave it the entire distance that they have to push, and they have to push a long way.
Yeah, Santa Barbara's a healthy ult bank here, but they need maybe even 4 fights to win this. 4 fights straight when they've struggled to win anything outside of their own spawn.
Yeah, and Cal with their team composition, they're able to start and end fights so quickly.
Kuzi with a good engage here, not opting to use mines. Lego's Trans is forced early.
Early to keep the backline alive here. Citric still on the Widow, unable to switch, trying to find a pick, trying to find impact, but he falls to Stella, who has Pulse Bomb, as well as Hydra, who falls to Enigma.
And that looks like it'll be the map. I mean, Enigma does fall, but 3 are already down for the side of Santa Barbara.
Kuzi and Pretz, the last one's alive.
Beat coming
now
out
with a beat.
Pretz falls first. Kuzi is full health, goes for the mines. Not able to find anything, though. Just temporarily zoning off and stalling Cal's kill, but Cal does find the kill onto Kuzi. That will be the map, and that will be the series for Cal. Staying in this tournament, Santa Barbara knocked out, will not be going to LAN. Very, very dominant from Cal there. They made the adaptation they needed to. The Brig was not working out. They swapped onto the Juno Lucio. They swapped to the Genji, playing so aggressive and so fast.
Yeah, but that was definitely the closest match we've watched so far. It could have gone the way of either until one team started dominating. In this map specifically, I think Cal definitely had the advantage the whole time, but in the other map, all the other maps were definitely toss-ups.
Yeah, no, Santa Barbara thought they could pull out the ball again. Berkeley really struggled to deal with it, but Berkeley made some fantastic adaptations there to deal with the ball. Not necessarily even deal with the ball, but just go even more aggressive onto the vulnerable Briggs end backline.
Yeah, now we've got our matchups, our next few matchups set.
Yeah,
as we take a look at the bracket here, we've got Santa Cruz versus Riverside and LA versus Berkeley.
And actually a very surprising upset. Riverside actually 3-0'd Davis to move on to the next round. So both of these next matchups, you know, Los Angeles Berkeley and Santa Cruz Riverside, will decide who goes to LAN and who goes home.
Yeah, and I think let's talk about Santa Cruz versus Riverside. I think Santa Cruz and Riverside, we know the general sort of composition Santa Cruz is going to run, centering around the Doom. So I think a lot of it depends on if Riverside is prepared for this. Have they prepared against the Doom? Do they have a plan?
And Riverside was really, you know, counted out early, but with a 3-0 onto Davis, they've got to be respected here. Santa Cruz really has to be cautious going into this match. I think that's all for now. We're going to be going into a little bit of a break before we head to LA versus LA versus Berkeley there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll
See
catch
you in a bit.
In a bit.
Stay tuned.
Let's say you're deep in a show, or a game, or the game, on a train, at home, at work. Okay, maybe not at work. Point is, at Xfinity, we're constantly engineering new ways to get the entertainment you love to you faster and easier than ever. That's what I do. Is that Love Island?
I got it, Tim! Oh my God!
Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go.
Hello and welcome back to UCEI, the University of California Esports Initiative, presented by Xfinity. We just watched our first game between UCSB and Berkeley. It was a 3-1 going in the favor of Berkeley, so now we're going to watch the second match.
Yeah, we now have UCLA versus Berkeley. Winner of this match will go to LAN. Loser is knocked out of the tournament. UCLA is 5th seed in this tournament. They've got a very experienced roster. 4 of the players coming from last year's team, 3 brought up from Academy. You know, very strong team, top 32 finish in the recent Activision Blizzard Collegiate Tournament. They won against Davis in their first round 3-0 and lost yesterday in the second round against Irvine 3-0 as well.
Yeah, so we just saw Berkeley play. We saw what they can do. They did just win 3-1 against UCSB. We saw some highlight reels from Stella. We saw amazing tank and DPS and support play. Just a lot of great team cohesion. So now let's see what UCLA can do against them.
Yeah, looks like first map will be Lijiang. UCLA's pick as the higher seed here. Looks like both teams will be opting for a fairly similar comp here. I doubt, you know, Tropic will be staying on the Lifeweaver. A little bit of spawn room shenanigans, but both teams going for Brawly or Orisa comps with the Cass. Consta opting for the Genji. We'll see if Amon actually plays the Junkrat here. Maybe opting for something like the Venture.
I would be very interested to see some Junkrat play, especially on Control Center, which I think would be his strongest map here on Lijiang. But it is going to be break Juno for both sides.
Looks like Amon will actually be rolling out on the Junkrat.
I do love this pick here coming up from Junkrat, able to use those mines to take so much space in these small corridors.
UC has a big advantage already coming out on the TP. We'll see how they deal with the spam coming from Amon though. Amon already landing a couple mines. UCLA opting to not play inside of White Room there because of the spam, trying to take point control early. Consta's got a little bit of an off angle here, but the rest of UCLA rotating around to meet him. Consta actually flipping the other way, trying to put some pressure onto the Cal backline here. Tropic's actually a little bit stranded back here. Somehow found very far out of position. Dolphin and Stella really able to clean that up very easily. UCLA is able to get first cap here, but I doubt they'll be able to hold long down their brig. Yeah. Stella cleans up Courier.
Now Cal just able to leverage their picks to take so much space onto the card, even though UCLA was able to get the first point capture. Does find Enigma, and Limes tried it out, but Consta found Dolphin. This fight's a lot more
somehow even. UCLA has turned this down too. Consta and Lime both able to find a lot. Xerxes finding 2 of his own.
And Consta finally able to find Amon. What looked like a lost fight for UCLA was somehow turned around completely.
Xerxes already has the orbital ray built. That is so quick. Tropic has actually moved over to the BAP, a very unusual pick for Control Center.
Yeah, both Junos here able to build their orbital rays so quickly here. So it's I do expect a trade of orbital rays. So we are going to see what the DPS can do with them.
Looks like Cal is opting to take White Room once again with that jungle spam. Stella coming out with the high noon, getting a lot of zoning here. Consta somehow it'll find Dolphin in the backline, but Cal lapses onto the UCLA backline. Xerxes does pop that orbital ray, yeah, as you said, but it's just not enough. It looks like Lime finds him on, but is traded out even through his Terra Surge. Consta's still alive though. We saw him do work last fight.
Let's see his blade available online. Juno is low here, but gets healed by the brig. Consta, yeah, does have that blade, able to keep contesting, getting a lot more percentage and value.
And Consta's still on point here, still with Deflect available. Gets Terra Surged in, somehow still alive. Consta is still healthy with the blade available.
Field.
Stalled long enough for Lime to actually come back.
Now Courier with the Deadeye online, but Amon's Riptide was just shut down.
Courier will find Stella. Consta's blade getting a lot of value here. Doesn't even matter that the tire comes out from Lon. It finds nothing. Smoke hits, great timing there on Consta, just killing him after his deflect ends. But it's not going to matter. I don't think Cal will have a touch here. They do switch over to the Venture here, but Venture is not fast enough to get the point.
Utilizing Deadeye to zone Cal away from the point. UCLA able to 100-0 on this first point of Lijiang. A lot contributed to Consta.
Yeah, Consta
somehow contesting that point for like 40%.
They just stayed alive for so long and somehow got kills in the process.
Cal was just unable to completely complete their fight win and capture the point. It looked like UCLA lost multiple of those fights there, but they were just able to keep contesting the point and keep Cal from capturing.
Yeah, I really don't think the gimmicky Junkrat pick worked out. You know, Amon was not able to get much value. The spam UCLA dealt with very well, just rotated around it. And it looks like now they're going to be swapping over to the Pharah. Courier going on to Ashe. So this will be interesting. Courier trying to maintain range while Amon will try and take away those sightlines.
Yeah, let's see what Courier can do against Amon. Both teams actually opting for the Pharah here. So it's going to be a battle, Courier versus Stella here. Which hit scan can get more value?
Yeah, Courier definitely has the range advantage on Ashe, and it looks like UC has taken some early space. Lime hitting some great poke onto Amon, forcing him back. Everyone low on the side of Cal.
Now UCLA converging onto the point. Both teams sort of converging onto the point here. A lot of people getting low. Consta going down, but Amon going down too. Both Fairs down here.
Yeah, actually, Cal able to get first cap here, sort of flipping the map on UCLA, stabilizing after all their members falling low.
But both teams are very much still in the fight here, trying to build up their ultimates to make something big happen.
Speedring already dropped for UCLA, though. They're going to have a hard time re-engaging this. Orbital Ray already available for smoke, coming out very, very early. Lime looking to kite away from that Orbital Ray. Courier falling very, very low and cleaned up by Stella. Great Orbital Ray there from Smoke. He knows he has the advantage over Xerxes in terms of ultimate charge and decides to press that advantage.
And so now UCLA coming up on Orbital Ray, coming up on Terra Surge, coming up on Bob. And Cal with Terra Surge and High Noon to respond, but it's all about what UCLA can do with these big openings.
We'll see how UCLA approaches this. Amon with a very close hold. Yet Xerxes going out with an early Orbital Ray. Amon trying to displace Lime, but does not get too much impact there. Lime going with an early Terra Surge, or Enigma actually going first, but Lime cleaning up. Lime with great aggression there, using the Orbital Ray to put out so much damage into Enigma.
UCLA is just able to clean that up there and able to get their first capture. Cal able to get to 60%. 1-2 fight territory. A lot of pretty good headway made, but UCLA coming up on some pretty big ultimates, namely the Rally, the Bob, and the Rocket Barrage. But Cal coming up on some ultimates of their own.
UCLA actually opting to hold a little bit farther back, you know, not committing to that choke. Stella does pop the High Noon with the speed ring out. Great spear from Lime, canceling that High Noon though. Speed rings drop from both sides, so no aggressive engage coming out.
Yeah, UCLA is backing up slowly towards, but actually opting to push forward and hold the choke, finding Enigma here, forcing them out to the outer edge of the point here, trying to knock people off. Barrage comes out, but gets fined. Orbital Ray invested here by Cal.
Looking very scrappy for Cal. Consta actually is able to find one with the Barrage, even through that rally. Or with the help of the rally actually from Tropic.
But it looked like there were so many trades, but they all went the way of UCLA.
Yeah, great stuff. Great coordination there. Lime backed up towards point, allowing Courier to get a great bob from behind onto Cal.
Now Cal coming up on rally here. They are going to come try and brawl out here with the support of the rally. And UCLA not really coming up on any big ultimates here, so it's all about what they can do with the picks they can find. UCLA
once again opting for a far back hold. Amon falling very low to Courier's Ash, but Courier is not able to clean that up.
Rally comes out here by Dolphin, able to find a pick on the Lime, starting to converge onto the point here, on the edge. Entering into the point, does find Tropic.
Looks like this will be easy cleanup for Cal. Yeah, Lime caught very out of position there, back to, you know, instead to his own Mega rather than point. Not sure if that was from boops or javelins, or just, you know, Lime thought he had time to work around, but great collapse there from Cal.
Now both teams going to head towards one fight territory here. This next fight is going to decide the round most likely. UCLA coming up on Terra Surge, coming up on Orbital Ray. It's all about what is UCLA going to be able to do on this engage.
Yeah, that Orbital Ray advantage. Yeah, Orbital popped very early from Xerxes. UCLA trying to go fast. They're trying to pin Enigma in the corner, but they're not able to. High Noon coming out from Stella, trying to fend off this push, stall out the Orbital Ray. It's successful.
Zone. And now Cal has an Orbital Ray of their own. Let's see what they do. We're definitely going to pop it here on the big fight. Orbital Ray comes out. Lime to use the Terra Surge, catches a lot of them, but gets taken down.
Looks like it's going to go the way of Cal. Nothing UCLA can do once their Orbital Ray has been fully kited.
Now Cal putting this to 1-1. Though UCLA was able to get up to 80%, they just weren't able to fend off the ultimates that Cal was able to so consistently produce.
Yeah, no, UCLA's holds, you know, they opted for that farther back hold, but they weren't able to make use of all that space that they gave to Courier, at least on their defensive setups.
Now, our last map here on Lijiang is going to be Gardens. Both teams sort of sticking with the Pharah here, still mirroring the comps that they had before. What changes do you think UCLA needs to make here? Maybe in playstyle, or maybe you think the map favors them more?
I think they just need to make sure, you know, Courier is getting those sightlines, right? Cal was doing a great job of collapsing onto point quickly, playing, you know, well out of Courier's sightlines. But if Courier can manage to get some sneaky angles here and find Amon exposed, I think UCLA has a very good shot here.
Now we see both teams converging across the bridge, but Amon able to find a boop onto Lime here. That's going to be massive, but Stella traded out. But Courier also gets knocked off the map.
2 environmental kills for Cal there. Just an easy fight when surprising you know, that UCLA was not able to dodge those.
That's immediately going to give Cal the first capture here. UCLA even immediately swapping off of the Pharaoh onto the Genji here.
And they're going for actually a very aggressive Queen Lucio Juno comp. They want to get access to this backline, the cast brig, and they want to go fast. So we'll see if they're able to access the backline, even though Cal does have Hinder, Spear, and the Pharah available to fend that off.
Yeah, let's see what Enigma can do to fend off the incredibly fast push that UCLA has.
On's already falling low, and most of the utility has come out from UCLA. No speed ring available, no shot, but Stella falls very low. Lime able to clean that up, but is traded out himself. Consta, though, still able to find smoke.
Dolphin getting dangerously low here along with Enigma here. It's all about can they finish off these kills to finish off the point, and they do. UCLA able to capture the point. Cal only able to get 27% here. Some progress, but definitely not as meaningful as the amount of percent that UCLA is probably going to get right now.
Very glad to see Consta back on the Genji here. I think he's had a lot more impact on the Genji than on the Pharah. I think Tropic actually also very close to a beat already. Despite plays a little bit aggressive, tries to go for an aggressive group. Heavily punished though.
Now Xerxes has orbital ray. Let's see if he decides. He does decide to invest here, but Consta falls. It's just now a 3v5. What can Lime do with this orbital ray and damage boost with Courier?
And they're still taking a slow fight. Yeah, Enigma does use the Terra Surge, but UCLA is not fully dead yet, even though Cal already has control of the point.
UCLA decided to invest the orbital ray there, but it didn't seem like they were able to did anything to capitalize off of it.
Bit sloppy from the support line from UCLA. Not, you know, the best utilization of positioning or ults there, but I think they can come back from this. They are 80% to a beat. Cal, however, does have a lot of ultimates online. Both support ults. UCLA will have a very difficult time fighting this.
It's all about what UCLA can do to bait out and kite these support ultimates. Hopefully put them onto an even playing field. Beam is going to come online. Mob does come out on an off angle, put a lot of pressure.
Amon not able to find anything with Barrage, although Stella does clean up Lime. Xerxes finds Amon. Smoke popping his orbital ray, and Stella comboing the Deadeye with that. Just trying to zone UCLA off a point. Consta, though, a threat. Stella does hit a lot of damage onto Consta, but Beat does find Consta. Consta able to find one with the blade. Bashed out, but still doing damage onto this brig. Tropic helping him clean up.
UCLA does have the advantage here. Amon dangerously low. Enigma last one alive. Cal up to 85% here.
In those brawly fights, you know, UCLA is just so mobile that Cal doesn't know where they're coming from. So once Consta's engaged, you know, once the supports are kind of everywhere, Cal has a hard time dealing with finding out who to focus.
Yeah, Cal even had the pick advantage there too. But UCLA were just able to collapse so well onto prioritized targets that Cal had.
UCLA now has the Queen ult available. Rampage is so strong, you know. So easy. And yeah, Lime goes with early hits, 4 targets.
So many targets.
That'll be an easy fight win. Great ultimate there from Lime.
Investing only the Rampage, building up towards the orbital ray, and now Cal only has Terra Surge close. UCLA are going to be able to invest orbital ray for this next fight here, and it might be the decider.
Yeah, the early Rampage there is just so good from Lime. Gives Cal supports no time to build ultimates. Xerxes will likely going with an early orbital here, trying to close out this first map.
Consta does get Javelin, so a little space over the bridge here. Orbital Ray comes out. This is going to be the deciding fight here for the map.
Great missiles there from Xerxes, doing so much damage. Everyone on Cal falling solo. Enigma is able to find Consta with that ult, but Tropic finds 2 of his own. Courier killing Armand in the skies.
And now it's all the supports here on the bridge, desperately trying to get to the point. 95 here, 96, and that is going to be the map for UCLA.
Very strong adaptation of the fast-paced rush comp. They noticed, you know, they were really struggling against the Pharah, but they were very struggling to counter the Pharah, so they swapped to a faster-paced comp, you know, really get access to the backline instead of the more pokey brawl comp they were running earlier.
Yeah, that adaptation is definitely what won them the game here. Although, Cal definitely put up a really good fight.
They just, you know, I mean, I think they really struggled against that composition. You know, they were really only able to win that first fight against the composition because Tropic had a little bit of an overextend there. But once UCLA stabilized, they seemed very dominant on that composition. We've seen teams run, you know, these very aggressive Queen Rush comps and have a lot of success, especially UCI. We know UCI really likes these types of compositions. So we'll see if UCLA continues, you know. Next map is Midtown. Queen's a little bit less viable, so we'll see what UCLA tries here.
Yeah, like last time we were probably going to see pretty good Orisa mirror here coming out from both teams.
We did
Is
see,
it possible that we see Widows?
I think so. You know, Courier and, you know, we saw Stella last map solo carry, really, second point. So I'm very excited about the possibility of a Widow duel here. I think that'll be a great matchup. And I think the Widows, the hit scan players, can really decide this map. We did see, you know, last match, one side opting for the SIG comp, Berkeley trying out, you know, running the SIG, Babs-Zen, very poke-heavy comp. You know, we haven't seen either of these teams really play much Sigma, so I doubt we'll be seeing something like that, but it is a possibility.
Yeah, I do agree. I think we're going to see a very different game of Midtown playstyles that we saw from the last game that we just watched. These two teams, UCLA's playstyle is so different from UCSB's.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, what we saw in Lijiang, you know, UCLA really changed up the playstyle there. I mean, they do thrive. They did really thrive when Consta was on the Genji when they were fast-paced, but they did also try to, you know, play the slower-paced Orisa comps. So yeah, we'll see. Do they want to keep on playing something fast-paced? Obviously, Midtown. I think Midtown's actually a very, very good choice for Berkeley. They want to disrupt the flow of UCLA's push, but not moving to a full dive map because UCLA is very strong on full dive maps. So they want to stay away from something like Gibraltar potentially. Although, you know, I would love to see Gibraltar as well. I think the Courier Stella duel would be great there as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. I think I think Cal definitely want to slow down the pace of the game here, give them a lot more time to breathe, a lot more space for the duels.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot more individual playmaking ability than these complete team fight rushdowns.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think Enigma was really doing well in the Orisa mirror versus Line, but once, you know, well, I guess not with the Junkrat. Once Berkeley had swapped off the Junkrat, Enigma was doing very well against Lime on the Orisa. So I think they're trying to play to their strength there.
Yeah, and remember that it is 1st to 3 here out of the map, so Cal is nowhere near out yet.
Mm-hmm. Both teams still have a very good shot at making it to LAN.
Yeah, and remember, the winner of this game does go to LAN, and the loser is completely out, so there's a lot of stakes here.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I wonder, you know, does UCLA want to attack or defend first? You know, if I'm UCLA, if I want to play something fast-paced here, I'm looking to attack first, you know.
Yeah.
Typically the winner of the map chooses a side.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're looking for something fast-paced, I would not be surprised to see UCLA taking an attack first here, trying to get out of the gates very strong, keep that momentum from last map, and really just steamroll through Midtown. And it actually looks like, okay, UCLA is moving back over to the Orisa, so they have opted for defense. But it looks like Cal is going back to their SIG Babs-Zen comp that we saw last match against UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah, and I think the big thing on UCLA's comp that we need to look at here is Consta on the Genji. A lot more pokey proddy with the Ashe and Orisa, but Genji is a bit of a curveball.
Yeah, Consta's putting in so much work last map on Genji, and now Courier will have better sightlines, so hopefully he's able to make more use of this wider map.
Defend objective A.
As on Cal's attack here, let's see what space they can make with the Pharah and the Sigma for Stella to hit some nice shots.
Yeah, Cal is just looking to play around that backline getting sightlines. When Ashe, Zen have good sightlines, Ashe, Zen, Bap, it's over for UCLA. But if UCLA can minimize those sightlines, it'll be very difficult for Cal to attack.
Yeah, and already we see Lime with that Discord arm on him getting dangerously low instead of hitting a nice shot onto Tropic.
From his team. Yeah, it looks like UCLA tried to fall back there, but weren't all able to get back. Consta falling very low, surviving though. But yeah, it looks like UCLA will be forced off point, maybe trying for a regroup with Tropic back. Cal does not have time to cap this fully before UCLA gets the recontest in, though.
Yeah, and we see Consta still in the back line of Trend, trying to annoy Cal to maybe slow their progress here as UCLA get ready to re-engage. And we see it there. Speedring comes out, fighting off the point.
Very, very low. Courier does find a pick on Oman, straight at himself. But Immortality Field is down for the side of Cal.
Dolphin does go down to Consta too, but Lime dangerously low as well. Falls to Stella here. Dynamite used. Juno incredibly low here.
But Stella is not able to finish off that kill. Support coming from Tropic just in time, and UCLA is able to stabilize, giving away 2 ticks.
I love that decision there from UCLA. Right when Tropic got picked off, to immediately back up, knowing Cal can't fully take the point there, to regroup and fully engage with their speedrun.
And that long stagger onto Stella will really delay Cal's push. Amon actually swaps over to the Genji here.
Yeah, and Zerx, all 4 supports here coming up on all their ultimates with Bob as the DPS and Terra Surge, actually on both teams, and there's a lot of ults coming online.
Yeah, Smoke now, his Transcendence, now that he's not facing a Queen, can get much more value on that ultimate. Window coming out early from Dolphin, counter orbital wave coming from Xerxes. UCLA looking to collapse on the window, and they successfully do that, forcing
Rally
Smoke's
coming out.
Transcendence.
Rally does come out after the Transcendence is popped, so that's going to pop out pretty long, but Bob does find Xerxes. Consta has his Blade come online, Courier has his Bob online, Enigma with his Revatic Flux.
Tropic does fall to Smoke, but UCLA still is in this fight. Courier drops the Bob, Consta's still up and fighting, but Cal instantly melts that Bob.
Flux used on solely Courier, absolutely destroys him. Now Lime alone with his supports, trying to contest but falls, and now UCLA have to give up this first point.
Very aggressive Flux there from Enigma, you know, just wants to ensure, you know, once Courier is dead, they already have a numbers advantage. They want to make sure, you know, no surprise kills come out from UCLA, so they just want to guarantee that point. Maybe not necessary, but I think a good call to secure the point.
Finding a great late pick onto Xerxes here, able to take so much space now that UCLA is down, have complete control of the high ground.
And Cal support's already halfway back up to their ults, even though they popped them at the beginning of the last fight. They've just been outputting so much damage and so much healing that, you know, those ults are coming back up so fast.
Now Cal has Blade, while you see both teams have Blade. One Blade comes out from Consta, both now. Let's see which Genji can get more value. Consta does find Enigma, but both tanks fall here. Consta does find Smoke, and Amon does get traded out too.
Yeah, Lime on the Ramatra here is a very interesting pick, looking to monopolize high ground.
Both teams actually switched to the Ramatra.
This is actually kind of a flashback from last, well, now that Enigma's over on Ramatra as well, but Santa Barbara did try and hold Cal with the Ramatra, and they were not or they tried to push actually with the Ramatra, and were not super successful. So we'll see how Cal fares pushing with the Ramatra on this section of the map.
And we're going to see both teams here trying their best to enable their hit scans. Stella and Courier, which one can get more value? Xerxes coming up on orbital right here, so it is going to be a big fight.
Yeah, Amon just forced to take hard here, not able to get too involved. Xerxes, yeah, that orbital ray is going to be devastating here, but Cal does have support ults to counter. So we'll see. UCLA just waiting for the perfect time to set up an attack onto Cal. But Cal actually takes the fight pace into their own hands, pushes higher, and Stella is able to pick off Lime.
Window comes out. Stella has Bob online. Smoke has Transcendence here. Xerxes still holding the orbital ray, waiting for Lime to come back to maybe invest it. But Cal taking so much space with the cart. Transcendence does come out.
Bob, do something.
Stella committing the Bob as well. However, both support ults coming out from UCLA. UCLA thinks they can win this. They have a good shot. Both supports falling low for Cal. Both fall. Amon does trade out Tropic, but, you know, Cal's backline is gone. Just Ramatra left alive.
And UCLA able to identifying they can win this fight, investing all the necessary utility to hold Cal back at their first point.
Yeah, great call from UCLA there. They recognize that both support ults are down from Cal just recently, so they decided to go aggressive with their own. There's just nothing Cal can do against an orbital and a rally at the same time.
And now UCLA has their Bob online, coming up on Annihilation, coming up on Blade, while Cal has Annihilation, but not really much else.
Yep. Early Bob coming from Courier, forcing Cal off the high ground. Lime is able to find Smoke with the help of Bob, and as well as Dolphin. Tropic finds Enigma. Great Bob there from Courier, just closing out a nice easy fight. UCLA is going for another stagger here. Stella caught on cart.
So much time here being wasted by UCLA's. Oh my god, over
Surprisingly,
10
Consta
seconds.
decides to finish there. They could have even extended that stagger, but I guess Cal was coming around. They did not want to risk a collapse from Cal there.
And now UCLA looking to invest the Blade, looking to invest the Annihilation in an all-out fight before the supports can get their ultimates online.
Yeah, this is definitely last fight territory if it draws out even just a little bit. And yeah, it looks like Cal is taking it slow. This will be the last fight for this map potentially, if UCLA can hold on.
Now it's all about Courier and Stella. Which one of them can find a pick first to open up the map?
Big dynamite there from Courier, getting a lot of triple damage onto Cal, but Cal's able to kite under and avoid UCLA's aggression.
Comes out from UCLA and Lime utilizing it, but Annihilation form coming out from both teams here. It's a big Ramatra 1v1. Dolphin does fall, Blade comes out, Stella does fall, Xerxes gets traded out, Smoke dies to Consta, and so does Enigma and Amon.
Both Ramatra ults coming out there, both Ramatra's trading for their teams, but Consta's able just to put the nail in the coffin there with his Blade.
A great hold there from UCLA before the first checkpoint.
Yeah, they looked, you know, First point was a little bit iffy, but they were able to stabilize very, very well. Even within first point, you know, they first gave up 2 ticks, they stabilized, they lost first point, and they, you know, even though Xerxes was staggered initially, they did a good job of stabilizing, reclaiming that high ground in the middle of second point, which is so, so important.
Yeah, very clearly their matcha swap worked out for UCLA, but do you think it was right for Cal to match it?
I think so. I think Cal would have had a very hard time even trying to contest that high ground staying on Orisa. But I think, you know, especially with Consta on the Genji, I think Consta was just putting in a little bit more work than Amon there. And that really made the difference. Courier as well, doing a lot on Ashe.
Yeah, now we see UCLA bringing out Courier on the Widowmaker for this attacking round. And Cal unsuspectedly has the Torb and Ashe, as well as the Sigma Bat. It's a lot of poke here again.
We've yet to see, you know, curious if Tropic will actually roll out on the Zenyatta here. No, it looks like moving over to the Lucio, probably swapping back over to the Brig, but yeah. We've seen this comp from Cal before, and they tried it, and actually, you know, on the Torb was not too successful. You know, I think UCSB was really able to counter the Torb well, so we'll see if UCLA fares the same, and Amon is forced to swap off again.
Yeah, Cal, confident in their plays, whether or not it worked before. They know their protocol, they know what works for them.
Yep, Tropic is swapping over to the Brig there. Courier staying on the Widow.
Let's see what he can find. It's
all the way left.
It's going to be all about whether Courier can find a pick onto one of Cal's DPS's supports here.
Now that Courier has revealed himself, Cal knows they have to play a little bit careful. They know they have to respect Courier's Widow. They know he's a very talented hit-scan player. Courier's going for a very aggressive flank, is able to take out Turret with the help of Consta. So there's nothing to really check him here on the left side of the map unless Cal's able to rotate over.
Courier
putting a lot of damage
into Dolphin, forcing out the immortality.
And UC has already taken a lot of map control here just based off of Courier's Widow. I think this is a very strong pick. Cal was not ready for it.
So much pressure coming out from the Widowmaker here. Cal are so scared to peek here because of the pressure that Widow brings. Finding a pick onto Dolphin. Though Xerxes does get traded out, the turret goes down too.
Courier finds another great pick onto Stella. Looking for a third onto Smoke. Not able to find it, but it doesn't matter because UCLA has closed out the fight, finished, killed both of the remaining frontline members of Cal team. Looks like Amon is swapping over to the Genji and Stella over to the Widowmaker, trying to more closely match UCLA's comp.
Yeah, now we see what we wanted to see here, a Widow duel between the two teams. Courier versus Stella. It's all going to be, now that both teams have a Widow, it's going to be completely about which one can get more value, which one can win the duel. Yeah,
last match Stella was able to solo hold this point essentially, you know, popping headshots like it was nothing. So we'll see if he can do the same against Courier. Courier will get the best of him. Stella already finds a pick onto Consta.
And we already see the value that Widow brings.
Stella finds another onto Courier. Oh my god.
And we see immediately after those two picks, Cal takes so much space onto the cart.
So UCLA, they're wondering now, what can they do? I don't know if they were able, you know, probably not able to watch the last match, but if they were, they know that Stella is very formidable, especially on this map. Yeah. So I wonder how they will respond.
Courier is coming up on sites here, so once those are popped, Stella's going to be a lot more restricted. But after that, ooh,
great shot.
Xerxes.
Onto Xerxes. Flux coming out from Enigma to close the fight. Enigma actually playing very low. Courier picks off another one, finding his Widow counterpart.
So much pressure here coming out from Stella. Doesn't even have sights, but's able to equalize the ultimate economy. And now both Widows have sights. Both are going to be popped, and there's going to be equal pressure coming up from both sides.
Yeah, 2 fights for Stella on Widowmaker here. 2 fights that he's just closed out. He's open and closed.
Now UCLA does have 4 ults, but again, it's just going to be relying completely on what the Widowmakers can do here.
Sights coming out from both sides here. Orbital coming down from Xerxes. Counter window from Dolphin.
Monster does dive. Stella, though, gets him extremely low and finds him. That is going to be the deciding factor in this fight. Window is invested, but it's couldn't be played behind.
Consta and Tropic still alive here. Both have ultimates available. They're looking to fight this, I think. Yeah, Rock comes out from Enigma.
Consta does have Blade here to close out this fight if he does choose to invest it, but he's deciding to give Courier as much space to lay down some shots as he can. But Stella, remember that Stella is back and alive now, so he has to worry so much more about the Widow pressure.
UCLA allowed just enough time for Stella to get back here, deciding not to play aggressive with that Rally Blade available. Stella now playing back in this position where he saw him get the 5K last match.
Now, Stella looking towards Courier. Both of them looking towards each other, looking for this duel here. Both teams trying their best not to overextend,
Sniper.
not to expose themselves. Xerxes and Courier finds Stella. That is going to be the deciding fact. Amon decides to invest Blade to try and equalize. Rally comes out. Amon is stunned. Gets dropping incredibly low. Blade comes out from the other side. Courier finds another one. Courier finds
third.
2. Stella does trade, however, but she's not going to be able to contest this. And UCLA takes map 2.
Victory.
Yeah, Stella really caught UCLA off guard there, but Curry responded very, very strong, finding 3 fantastic picks to close out that map. UCLA will go up 2-0, very, very close here to making it to LAN.
Yeah, Stella even got play of the game there. Did so much work here with the Widowmaker, finding so many good shots, but I think what this really tells is UCLA's strong defense. Once UCLA had enough space, they only had to win 1 or 2 fights, and that was the game.
Yeah, very, very strong hold from UCLA. And, you know, they still, even though they lost those 2 fights on second point, they still had a healthy time bank, you know. Plenty of time left, even if they'd lost that fight, to regroup and attack again. So UCLA looked very, very strong there. And, you know, I think Berkeley will struggle a little bit here with a map pick. They lost against a very, very brawly, fast-paced comp first map. Now they've lost against a slower-paced Orisa comp. I don't know. They could move for dive here. They do. I'm sure they have confidence in Stella's abilities against Courier. Even the Courier did get the best of him in that last fight. So we'll see if they take the pick over to something like Gibraltar.
Yeah, I do think that Cal is going to be looking to catch UCLA off guard here. They know the comps that they're strong with, and they know what isn't going to work now. So I think it all depends on what map Cal chooses.
Yeah, and, you know, Cal now sees that UCLA is pretty strong on everything, so it's a question of, honestly, what they're most comfortable on. And Cal is moving over to New Junk City, which, you know, UCLA definitely has an opportunity to run the similar Queen, Juno, Lucio comp that they have shown that they're very strong on.
Yeah, that is what I was going to say, too. It's our second Flashpoint map. 2 games in a row we've seen Flashpoint, and Cal have chosen a comp that they did just lose to UCLA, and like you said, they're probably going to run the Junk. They're probably going to run Lucio and Juno.
Yeah, I think UCLA really, and especially with I think the big question is what is Courier going to play here? Because I think we'll see Consta on the Genji. Consta's been very strong so far in the past 2 maps on Genji, putting on great performances. But will Courier move over to the Cass? So we've only seen him on Ashe and Widow so far, I believe. But those are very, very not viable on New Junk City. So that's potentially why Berkeley's taking us here, kind of kite away from Courier's strengths here.
Yeah, do you think, what kind of composition do you think Cal are going to play here? Do you think they're going to mirror the likely Junker Queen comp, full rush down commit?
I don't think we've seen them play Queen yet today, so I would guess they're going to stay on the Orisa comp. You know, Brig Juno, I bet they're going to run something fairly standard. I think Stella on hit scan, and then, you know, for flex DPS, I think it's a little bit up in the air what they want to run. They could go for a Tracer. They could try and match the Genji again, but it's a little bit unclear. I think
Definitely a big mystery here about the team compositions that are going to come in from both sides. I think it completely depends on how Cal decides to respond to the likely Junker Queen comp. Are they going to adapt better than they did in the first map? Because on the first map, they were once the Junker Queen comp was able to get its footing, they kind of got rolled.
Yeah, and I also wouldn't be surprised if UCLA, though, rolled out on an Orisa comp. The Orisa is just so strong right now. They see how they fare on the Orisa comp. You know, if they can't get things going on Orisa, they know they have the possibility of swapping over to the Queen comp, and that can definitely throw off Berkeley. Completely swapping team compositions and play styles in the middle of a map, especially Flashpoint, where you don't have round breaks, you don't get a pause at all. It can really turn the momentum very quickly.
Yeah, so once again, it's all about adaptability. Can Cal and UCLA adapt to each other's adaptations effectively? Who can snowball their momentum fast enough to keep continuously taking these flashpoints?
And yeah, I think momentum is really the big thing here. We saw Berkeley really struggle to gain any momentum on Midtown, and we'll see if they can gain and keep some momentum here. Yeah, it looks like both teams actually opting for Queen comps. Tropic starting out on the Lucio versus Dolphins Brig. That's going to be a significant team comp difference, you know. UCLA playing a lot faster than Cal. Looks like both hit scan players will actually be on Sojourn here. You know, with you know, Sojourn has a lot of damage potential with the primary fire, and then also the hit scan element with that secondary railgun.
Yeah, this is going to be all about can UCLA end the fight before Cal's Brawly sustain can keep them stabilized.
UCLA again opts for the sim TP out, takes a little bit of space early. Both teams just kind of trying to trade out positioning here. UCLA with a little bit more forward positioning. Cal drops the speed ring, trying to get aggressive. Dolphin falls very low, just able to be sustained by Enigma's shout. Stella also falling very low.
We've got an all-out brawl here. A lot of players from Cal falling extremely low, but Consta gets traded out. But Dolphin falls, Enigma falls, Xerxes falls. 2 trades coming out, but a lot of them I would say more impactful for UCLA.
Yeah, Cal really on the back foot in this fight, although both surgeons now traded out. I think UCLA is, you know, oh, Cal actually trying to fight this. But yeah, looks like Almon's just going to try and get out here. Can't really fight against the Queen when there's just 2 of you. It's very difficult. So UCLA will take the first capture here. Cal trying to regroup. They know they can't go quite as fast as UCLA, so they have to be a little bit more strategic with their engages here.
Yeah, but let's look at the ultimate economy here. Smoke, although he's incredibly low, and Falls had 75% ult charge on his orbital ray, and now Lime able to get so much more ult charge than Enigma is. He's so close to his rampage in comparison to the rest of the lobby.
And UCLA knows they don't necessarily have to take this fight. You know, it's very disadvantageous to push out into the open. They've got their kill, they got what they need, but they're actually gonna
overextend here, trying to find Dolphin and find him, able to take so much space, but Courier falls, Amon traded out.
Very risky play there from UCLA. Pays off, it looks like. UCLA able to find 2 kills to Cal's 1. And now Cal's going to have a very difficult time retesting Flashpoint. The percentage moves so fast.
Yeah, they do have the overlay array. Let's see if they try to invest and contest this point here, but UCLA has the rampage. Decide to invest it right now. Does hit Juno and Sojourn here. Juno falls, Sojourn falls, and that's going to be the Flashpoint.
Great rampage there from Lime. Just instantly killing 2. Shuts down that fight before it really starts. Only ult use from either side there. Both sides know it's over. Once Lime is in the backline on 2 anti-targets.
Now, UCLA and Cal both have, Cal has almost every single impactful ultimate, and UCLA has 4 of them, so we need to see what these supports do with their ults.
Yeah, we'll see. Does Tropic want to go aggressive with the beat here? I think it's definitely a possibility. They know they're on the back foot. That's a rally. Smoke drops the early orbital, though. Enigma engaging with the Queen ult. Tropic countering with the beat. Will Enigma, yes, Enigma will be able to finish off both of those targets hit with the Rampage. This looks like this fight will be going the way of Cal, even though Xerxes does drop a late orbital ray.
Overclock invested a little bit late by Stella, but it did help to secure the fight.
Heavy investment. Heavy investment there from both sides, but Cal just goes first and is able to capitalize off of that aggression.
Yeah, now UCLA does have both DPS ults. Cal has Blade to respond, but it's gonna be a battle of who can get more picks.
Amon goes in with the Blade, falls very low, but has overhealth from both Rally from last fight and Queen ult. Not able to find anything though. Lime actually finds Dolphin, and they've been trading out Courier, but Lime finding another kill. Lime finding a 3rd.
Possibly even a 4th here. Lime going crazy on the Junker Queen, leaving only Enigma alive. Definitely gonna fall here. Going for the stagger to also build ult charge. Enigma
staggering
off the edge.
That knife staggers Enigma even more. Just every second is very valuable here, you know. Maybe reduces Cal to only 1 fight left on this point if they're not able to win.
It even pushed him closer, and Enigma here switches onto the Orisa, what we originally thought they were going to play.
Yeah, Cal's just not able to match this Queen from Lime. I think they're struggling on a bunch of different fronts here. The aggression from the Lucio, Consta's Genji is just so good. Lime's Queen is so impactful.
Yeah, so they felt like they needed the CC that Orisa provides. They used the speed ring and Blade along with the overclock here to fully commit onto find Stella, find Smoke, find Dolphin. Though Tropic is traded out, Enigma's really low, and Amon remains the last one.
Yeah, true zoning Blade there from Consta. He's not able to find anything with it, but makes so much space, completely scatters Cal, so that Courier and Lime are able to completely clean up that fight. And the stagger onto Amon will seal this point, putting UCLA 2-0 up, 1 point away from qualifying for LAN.
Now Cal really have to lock in here. They need to win all 3 next flashpoints to give them a chance to continue in this tournament. Lime does have Rampage for the first fight. Xerxes is coming up on Orbital Ray.
Yeah, the Venture's a very odd pick here, very odd swap. We typically see them more with the Queen compositions, Venture using to engage, but with the slower pace Orisa, I'm curious to see how this will play out.
Lime getting shots down onto Lime and Stella mainly now. Lime deciding when to invest his Rampage. Does it now. Hits 4 targets.
Fantastic Rampage there. Instantly killing Stella and Dolphin. And Enigma falling very low. UCLA will be able to clean this up no problem.
That is going to be the first capture here onto UCLA's final point for them to qualify to land. She still has the Orbital Ray, and Tropic's about to have beat.
Yeah, Lime's just been hitting every single Rampage, you know. When Lime rampages, UCLA doesn't need any other ults for the most part, and they just win the fight off of that cleanly. Stella moving over to Tracer here. Let's see what he can do. Zerk's going with an aggressive Orbital Ray and Speed Ring here. Lime trying to get aggressive. Smoke dropping a counter Orbital Ray. Stella finds 1, but Courier finds 2. It looks like Consta still up will be able to clean this fight up with the help of Lime.
It's going the way of UCLA. Stella falling dangerously low, and Enigma 2, they do win that. UCLA is getting basically one fight territory.
Yeah, UCLA has, you know, 3 ults almost on the line. You know, Lime's pretty close as well. If this fight draws out, I don't think it'll go in favor of Cal. You know, how are they going to counter this Queen ult with no Rally available, no Juno available? It'll be very, very tough. We'll see if Enigma can make a play with this Terror Surge. If either DPS can get their ultimates online.
Cal needs to force out this beat or kill him before he can use it. Terror Surge comes out, beat comes out, Blade comes out too. Consta finds Dolphin, Courier finds Smoke here, and this is a massive advantage for UCLA.
Cal might get the flip on point here, but it is not going to do a thing. UCLA able to clean this fight up easily, countering Cal's hopes of winning this fight with a beat from Tropic. And that'll be UCLA qualifying for LAN and Cal knocked out of the tournament.
Amazing game there from UCLA. It seemed the beginning maps were, it felt a lot closer, but the more UCLA, the more momentum UCLA built, the less close it became.
Lime really, I mean, really everyone from UCLA putting on great performance, but specifically there, Lime on Queen had some great looks, and Consta on Genji popped off every single map.
They were just able to find so much value with Consta's dives on Genji, able to isolate and find so many picks, utilizing so much space. And I want to highlight also the amazing Widow duo that we saw at the end of that point there on Midtown. That was, UCLA had so much time and were able to put up such a good defense that even though they lost multiple fights due to Stella's Widow, they were just, all they needed was 1.
Yeah, it's almost like Stella brought out the Widowmaker a little bit too late, you know. Maybe could have tried it on attack, but, you know, I just think Berkeley was just very slow to adapt to UCLA's changes, could not play at the pace that UCLA wanted to. And they really, I think they lost because of that pace difference.
UCLA definitely dictated the pace of this entire game here. They were able to push their play style so far to make Berkeley so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think every map, even every composition we saw UCLA run, the pace of play was just a little bit faster. You know, first on Lijiang, Consta on the Genji, you know, eventually forcing Amon to swap to the Genji, but the Genji just increased the pace of play. Then, whenever UCLA brought out the Queen comp on the Lucio Juno, made it so fast-paced.
Yeah, it was a great game. Really close, but UCLA was just able to snowball so much from the momentum they were able to build.
We have one more match left for today. That'll be UC Riverside versus UC Santa Cruz. Very interesting matchup. Interesting team comps going to be coming out from both sides. So we will catch you in a bit.
Our new Xfinity gateways can support hundreds of devices.
Up your internet game. Am I right?
I'm over here.
Am I close?
Get a strong connection to power hundreds of devices with ultra-low lag.
Marco?
Bring on the good stuff.
Let's say you're deep in a show, or a game, or the game, on a train, at home, at work. Okay, maybe not at work. Point is, at Xfinity, we're constantly engineering new ways to get the entertainment you love to you faster and easier than ever. That's what I do. Is that Love Island?
I got it down!
Welcome back to UCEI presented by Xfinity. We're moving on to our last match of the day and last match of the online qualifiers. So we now have UCSC versus UCR.
Let's take a look at the bracket. Now, UCSC versus UCR will decide the last person to go to LAN here, competing in the semifinals. This is the last decider match to see who's going to go to LAN. And let's talk about Santa Cruz.
Yep, Santa Cruz is the second seed in this tournament. They won their first match 3-0, but then lost their second match 3-0 as well. You know, they're very known for Zebra, their Doomfist player. Not super flexible, but they kind of the whole team really plays around the Doomfist pick. So definitely keep an eye out on Zebra, and definitely keep an eye out on how the rest of the team plays around Zebra. You know, last year at LAN, Zebra and Nevermind were both very, very solid on the Doomfist Tracer duo. And the team has been this year very strong overall.
Yeah, but now let's talk about Riverside. Someone we didn't expect to see here. They are the 8th seed.
More to do,
They did
more to learn.
lose against UCI, who was the first seed. We expected them to. We expected UCI to perform extremely well, but we didn't expect UC Riverside to actually 3-0 Davis in the lower bracket round 1. So this is definitely not a team to count out.
We see UCR opting, even on Lighthouse, for a very, well, not even super fast race, but a Queen comp, which is a little bit odd. But teams have had a lot of success against UCSC in this Doomfist competition, playing Queen. And yeah, Walker Trout moving over to the Genji means that UCR wants to get aggressive in the Santa Cruz backline onto Psyche and Foxes.
Now let's see what value Sandevistan and Zebra can get diving onto UCR's backline here. And will UCR be able to all-in UCSC before their own backline is dived?
Nevermind is taking some early map control here. Santa Cruz is kind of spread out onto their own high ground and onto point. But Walker Trout is looking for an engage here, maybe looking to challenge point, challenge Sandevistan. But yeah, the entirety of UCR is kind of moving over to point. Zebra trying to counter. There's not much he can do against this very heavy brawl comp.
Yeah, Riverside able to take control of the point here. Probably going to get first capture. Good punch here, but Nevermind falls to Walker Trout.
Sandevistan also falling very low. Walker Trout finishes that kill as well.
Able to get some incredibly good damage onto the end here. Finds a third onto Psyche. And Abelsander finishes off Zebra.
Yeah, very, very kind of expected from UCR there. Just forcing point. They know they can brawl much, much better than UCSC. The on-a-break backline sort of has to play far away, very safe. Nevermind is also, you know, very vulnerable to Cassidy. I think UCSC will really struggle against this UCR composition.
Yeah, we just saw Walker Trout. If he's able to get some shurikens, able to get some poke damage onto UCSC's squishies, if he gets them low, he can absolutely just dive on them and get some hits.
Great nade there from Psyche actually onto Hopper. Hopper falling very, very low, but no one there to finish that kill.
Zebra does fall in the meantime to Walker Trout here again. Psyche also falling low onto the high ground in the 1v1.
Walker Trout is just doing so much here, has so much pressure across the map from close distance so quickly, and just allows Hopper to clean up quickly. Foxes and Sandevistan, you know, taking away Psyche's attention.
UCR goes for the slight stagger here onto Psyche, getting a few more percentage points as UCSC are forced to reset. Nevermind does have the duplicate. Sandevistan is coming up on the pulse, coming up on the rally here. UCR though has a lot of ultimates to respond.
A lot of ultimates, arguably much stronger ultimates. Nevermind does pop the duplicate, trying to do a Walker Trout here, but Abelsander helps him out, gets Nevermind out of the duplicate and picks him off afterwards.
Immediately shut down, but UCSC is actually able to capture the point here. UCR have to go back to capture.
Abelsander just popping the Deadeye to ensure Riverside gets the flip back.
Yeah, they're able to win the fight again on the reset without using many ultimates.
The orbital right now, compared to the Nano, is so much more valuable in my opinion. So Riverside, where do they... Oh, they pop their orbital ray, but Sandevistan actually hits a huge pulse bomb onto Silver Surfer before he's able to rally. Yeah, somehow blinks himself off the map.
Orbital Ray comes out here. Zebra finds Abelsander. Meteor Strike comes out, focusing on the Hopper here, finds him. Nano comes out onto Nevermind.
This will be a very solid flip for UCSC, but
Thank you for the assistance.
they depleted, you know, most of their ultimate bank there. All they have is rally left. UCR's ult bank still looking very healthy.
Yeah, it's going to depend on how much value Hopper can get from his Rampage here. Can he open up the fight and turn it UCR's way to capture it?
Without the pulse bomb, how is UCSC going to really get this opening pick? They almost find a pick onto Abelsander. Silver Surfer's rally comes up. Everyone looking very healthy on point now for the side of Riverside.
As UCR move to recapture, UCSC is forced to respond to contest. Rally comes out, but Rampage comes out,
Great
hitting
ramp.
2.
The rallying break falling low, finds Walkatrout. Still low though. Hopper able to get the axe onto Foxes, securing that kill. Abelsander getting a triple ding onto Psyche.
Now Zebra and Nevermind last standing, last both to fall here as UCR takes the first point from UCSC.
Very, very dominant there from Riverside. I don't think anyone really expected this, although they did do the same thing against Irvine, actually. They took the first map off in control, so, you know, it was a very strong look. But we'll see if UCSC can adapt here.
Yeah, it's going to be all about, and we see Sandevistan opting for the Widowmaker on this map. Both teams actually opting for the Widowmaker on this map. And it's going to be a Widow duel.
Yeah, and you know, unless the Widow, unless Stan Davison is able to have a big impact here, I think Santa Cruz will really struggle again against this Queen comp. Even though they're not running the Lucio, they're starting the Brig. Hopper's still able to get on the backline, and Walkatrot is also able to get on the backline and get some very important picks.
Abelsander here doesn't switch, switches late onto the Widow here.
A little bit of a disadvantage going to Stan Davison's forward positioning. We'll see how he deals with it.
Now Abelsander and Sandevistan both looking for picks here as both teams know there's a Widow by now, know the angles that they can't be peeking, but Walkatrout going incredibly aggressive onto Sandevistan, getting him incredibly low. Both Widows actually fall here. Both UCR's DPS are able to capitalize onto the Widowmakers from both teams.
Zero falling, using most of his utility to get back onto point though. Looks like UCR is mostly control this point. Almost capping, not quite though. Zebra does get that charge punch, is able to stay in the brawl. And Nevermind looking for a pick onto UCR's backline. Gets Watermelon Dog low, but Walkatrout finds Psyche first.
Walkatrout just doing so much good work here on this Genji here. Getting picks onto both the supports. Getting Nevermind dangerously low here as he's forced to back up.
Hopper is doing a great job of actually playing with his backline while Walkatrout is kind of solo carrying a lot of these fights, finding picks on his own. Zebra finds a good engaging pick onto Abelsander. We'll see if Sandavison can make use of these wide open sidelines.
Now Nevermind has his pulse bomb online here, looking for one onto the Brig, but it gets shielded, so no value there. But Sandevistan still on that Widowmaker, but Abelsander's on the Tracer now.
Sandavison sees Walkatrout behind, maybe, but Nevermind's able to actually help him out, take Walkatrout out of the fight. Watermelon Dog also falls to Nevermind. UCR still has point control though.
Nevermind absolutely tearing it up, and Sandevistan now finally able to take the space that he wants, uncontested here on the Widow.
Yeah, Abelsander has moved over to the Tracer, but now onto the Cassidy. Looking to brawl maybe a little bit more, punish Zebra even more.
Now it's going to put a lot of pressure here on the Walkatrout. He's the only person on UCR's team that can pretty much deal with the Widow here.
And they also struggle to deal with the Tracer, you know? No Tracer to duel, no Widow to counter the other Widow. So yeah, Walkatrout has a lot on his plate now. Nevermind farming up another pulse bomb, looking to get a stick in this closed space. Doesn't have time though, but Zebra gets the kill onto Watermelon Dog.
Meanwhile, Silver Surfer coming out with a rally here as Hopper builds his Rampage, gets incredibly low here. Can he stay alive? Is pulse bomb going to be invested? Abelsander falls.
It looks like Nevermind might be able to secure this kill onto Silver Surfer. No, changes his focus to Hopper. Able to clean that up. Sandavison finding the headshot onto the Silver Surfer. Great stuff from Zebra and Nevermind there.
And now UCSC and UCR both have Orbital Ray online, but UCSC does have access to the rally, does have access to the sites.
But yeah, that Rampage is just going to be so devastating if Hopper is able to get it onto Foxes. Foxes does have the rally to try and sustain through it, but it'll be difficult. Hopper was able to pick him off the first time with the Rampage into the rally.
Now let's see what Sandevistan can do with his Infrasight here. Can he find the angles to find these incredibly big? But with Infrasight, they see that Abelsander's isolated by himself. They immediately engage onto him.
Yeah, UCR opting to push into this tight room, which is not necessarily the best strategy against UCSC's comp, but they decide to fight this actually, going out with the Orbital Ray and the Rampage. Rampage doesn't find much. Fox is able to survive with the rally popped, and Zebra just punishes Hopper there, and Davison finishing up the kill.
Taking up so much space, working towards his next Meteor Strike, and Nevermind working towards his next Pulse Bomb here. UCR only has access to the Blade right now, coming up on High Noon, but Abelsander falls, and that's going to be close to the point as Walkatrout pops Blade desperately, but overtime takes down, and UCSC takes their first round.
Yeah, once Santa Cruz set up their hold there, Walkatrout really was not able to access the backline anymore, and Riverside really struggled to approach all of them through the tight corridor where Doom punches can get a lot of value.
Yeah, and that last fight especially there, I don't think UCR expected UCSC to take advantage of the infrasight in the way that they did. They knew they had to hide from the Widowmaker, but what they didn't realize is that UCSC's whole team also could see through the walls, and they could also see that Applesander was across the map by himself.
Yeah, UCR really can't afford to play split unless they plan on trading out a backline, but they're just too far from Psyche and Foxes to find those kills.
Now, UCR not a lot of switches. Not a lot of switches here. Applesander's deciding to stick with the cast, but Walkatrout's probably going to stay on the Genji here.
And Davison actually moving over to the Mei, though. That is a very interesting pick here. You know, we don't see this too often on Well, so we'll see what side Santa Cruz tries to take. Oh, they actually use the Mei to boost themselves up to high ground. Getting Brig up on that high ground is actually very valuable. Makes it very hard to kill her. And the long-range poke from Mei can be devastating. Those icicle headshots do a lot of damage.
And Zebra here on the top of the building, looking for a strong engage onto UCR, who's corralled under.
The objective is
I think Hopper will have trouble really getting on point here. Yeah, Silver Surfer tries to walk out, gets punished by Zebra. Healed up with the help of Hopper's shout. Looks like St. Davison misses the wall by a little bit, but Zebra has some powered punch waiting for UCR to walk onto point. Almost catches out Silver Surfer, but Silver Surfer just shy of colliding with the wall.
And UCSC is able to hold so much space, but Foxes gets incredibly low. Zebra finds out Silver Surfer, though.
Watermelon Dog is able to find the kill on the Foxes, but Zebra is just cleaning up UCR's backline. Hopper also finds the kill on the St. Davison.
Fight's actually pretty close. Zebra here
falling very low.
does find Applesander.
It's very scrappy, but Hopper falls too low. Zebra doing so much there. Really doing his job of trading out the backline. That's exactly what you want to see with Zebra on the Doomfist.
And now UCSC, well, let's check at the ultimate bank here. Never mind, coming up on Pulse Bomb, San Davison and Zebra beating out their counterparts on UCR in terms of the ultimate economy.
Yeah, yesterday we saw Psyche a lot on the Ana, Foxes on the Brig, but the move over to Juno has made the backline a lot more survivable, a lot more mobile. Riverside's really struggling to access the backline. So we'll see if they can turn things around here. Good knife in from Hopper, but that'll charge. Never mind, actually, it looks like he catches himself with his pulse bomb.
Now San Davison does build up Blizzard here, trying to turn around, re-engage onto UCR, trying to activate the Blizzard here to equalize the fight. Blizzard comes out, but it's a great rampage from Hopper, finding 4 on UCSC.
Hopper, wow, that was a fantastic rampage. Fully countered St. Davison's Blizzard and also turned the fight.
Now UCSC does have Orbital Ray and Rally as well as Meteor Strike, but so does UCR.
Yeah, it'll be a question of Applesander can get value from this Deadeye. Deadeye is a very tricky ultimate to get value from, especially with something like the Doomfist, the Mei. So much to really block off the Deadeye, stun it, cancel it, that kind of thing. So we'll see if Applesander can make anything work.
We'll expect to see a trade of Orbital Rays here, but we need to see which team can get more value off of it.
So low. Both teams forced to use their overrays. And Davison finds Applesander in the high noon. And it looks like this fight is going the side of Riverside. Hopper not able to get much, but finds a great pick on the Fox's huge knife.
Nevermind does find Watermelon Dog as well. Looks like UCSC is turning this fight their way. Hopper doing his best to stay alive and keep as many.
Fantastic combo onto Nevermind there. Zebra is able to finish off Hopper, but Applesander's still up now on the Echo. Gets one shot with Zebra's ultimate. Zebra trying to duel it out, but too many are coming back from Riverside. He'll have to temporarily back off. He's too low to fight this. Does have the empowered punch available, though.
Now UCSC has regrouped here, reset, trying to take back advantage of the point here as Walkatrout does his best to contest, but Foxes uses his rally, hoping to push towards UCR's territory here.
Dodge this.
Yeah, big flip there from Santa Cruz, ticking up closer and closer to one-fight territory. No ultimates online for UCR. Nevermind hits a huge stick on the Silver Surfer, taking him out of the fight. Watermelon Dog so low. Hopper actually comes out with a rampage, able to find Juno. Both DPS very low for USC. Watermelon Dog able to finish off Fox with the help of that rampage.
A huge rampage from Hopper, able to find Mei, Juno, and Brig there, felling both supports with one ultimate, able to completely swing the pace of the fight.
This will be a low ultimate fight for both sides, and Davison will probably be able to have the Blizzard online. And Hopper doesn't have the rampage anymore. So that's typically what you do, you save that rampage for Blizzard and rampage out, but Hopper now is going to have to play very defensive against the Mei.
Yeah, so it's all about what can Sandevistan do once he builds up the Blizzard. Can he get enough people? Can he get the value that he wants onto the key targets?
We'll see how Riverside tries to play spacing here. They do need to access the backline, but they can't get too close. They don't want Zebra to punish. Zebra is falling low. Never mind with a huge pulse bomb there. Walkershot, though, actually trades out the enemy brig. Blizzard coming out doesn't quite get a freeze. Oh, actually, it does catch Hopper just on the edge.
One fight territory here for both teams, and Hopper's down. Walkatrout does trade out Psyche, but he's getting dangerously low himself. Avalsander does have the duplicate available.
Last second touch for Watermelon Trout. Avalsander, yeah, comes out of the Meteor Strike, putting in a lot of work. Is able to help Walkershot take out that Mei. This fight's actually turning the way of Riverside, but Zebra's able to find a great punch onto Watermelon Dog. Zebra's so low here.
Does have Meteor Strike available, though, so he will be able to stay alive for a while longer. Nevermind finds his pick onto Silver Surfer and Walkatrout and Avalsander here. The last pick being alive, being Hopper. Can he stay alive long enough for the orbital array to come online? But it's not even going to be enough.
That would be map 1 for Santa Cruz. That was a very close map. One of the closest maps we've seen all weekend.
Yeah, going the distance all the way for both teams on almost every point there.
Nevermind really stepped up those second 2 maps, you know. I think Walkatrout was just really doing a lot on Lighthouse, getting so many picks, even the first part of Lighthouse, but Santa Cruz just started shutting him down, not giving him many opportunities, and in turn, Nevermind was able to trade out Riverside's backline time and time again.
Yeah, I think it was a lot. Another focal point there was the ultimate value that UCSC was just able to get. I think that they were able to utilize and cycle their ults a lot better than UCR was able to, because UCR found themselves having to invest a lot more ultimates to secure each fight than UCSC did.
Yeah, especially with Blizzard. Blizzard is so strong, and Hopper was able to counter it the first time, but if you're not saving Rampage for Blizzard, Blizzard is just so strong. There's no cleanse, nothing like that to really save the tank. So I'm curious now where Riverside will take us. You know, I think they really like the Queen comp there. They seem to actually have a lot of success. They were struggling a little bit. I'm curious, you know, maybe they'll try swapping over to the Lucia like some other teams have tried, playing a little bit more fast-paced, trying to match the speed that Santa Cruz has introduced into their team comp. So anywhere brawly, I would expect Riverside to take us.
Yeah, I think we need to see a lot more of the preparation that UCR should have been able to take to counter Zebra's Doomfist here. I think what was UCSC's downfall in previous games was that they were just, the comps and play styles that their opponents were able to play were just so counterintuitive to UCSC's play style, and UCR really needs to do that.
And UCR's chosen to take us to Esperanza, which is a very interesting map pick because Dive is very viable on this map. You see teams running Monkey all the time, and Santa Cruz will certainly run Doomfist. But on the other hand, you know, things like Orisa can also work out. Queen, you can force on this map. So Riverside has a lot of options in terms of composition. They'll be able to make swaps if they need to and try and adapt to Zebra's Doomfist gameplay.
Yeah, let's see. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of composition that UCR plays. Are they going to... I do believe that there's a lot of variation that, especially in the DPS, that UCR can choose. Like, you can pick so much variation between both the hit scans and projectiles. You can see a Widow, you can see an Ashe, you can see a Cassidy, and for the projectiles, you can see a Genji, you can see a Tracer replacement too.
And yeah, I think on the side of actually Santa Cruz, the big question is, are they going to run Juno Brig or are they going to run Ana Brig? Because I think if they run Ana Brig, Riverside will be very happy with that. They'll be much easier for them to engage onto the backline. Can't run away with the help of Juno's speed ring. But if they run Juno Brig, they're going to really struggle to find access backline. We are actually hearing that Able Center will be subbed out for Cyber. We saw some of Cyber's gameplay, you know, very solid Ashe play, very solid hit scan. So we'll see. I'm guessing that means Riverside will be swapping over to the Ashe.
Yeah, in UCR's first game that we watched, we did see them putting a lot of emphasis to give Cyber the space, but their downfall most often was that the opposing comps were just so oppressive that Cyber wasn't able to get the value, the space, the angles that he really wanted to get. So if UCR is able to remedy that compared to the last games that they've played, they're going to be looking a lot better.
They have chosen a difficult comp to try, though. You know, first time they tried was against Romani's Queen, which is, you know, very difficult, but now they moved over to Zebra's Doomfist, So the distance, I mean, Doomfist will be approaching from different angles, but still able to close the distance very effectively and very fast. So
Yeah.
hopefully Cyber will be able to make use of some of these angles.
Yeah, let's not forget though, UCR did win against 3-0 against Davis to get here, so they must have been doing something right. They must have made some changes and adaptations that we'll hopefully see here.
So yeah, I'm most curious about Psyche's pick though. I think Psyche can determine a lot about the pace of play for both sides, whether she's on the Ana or the Juno.
It is going to... Does look like she will be on the Ana.
So I think, you know, UCR opting for the Queen here means they want to engage hard, and I think the reason why they've chosen Esperanza is because they know they can run Queen, but that Psyche will likely play the Ana here, so they'll be more effective on getting into the backline. Yeah, we see Wakatrout back on the Genji. Looked very, very solid last map.
Yeah, so once again, it's going to be about UCSC. What can they do against UCSC's backline? What's worked against UCSC before is, like we said, Zebra and Nevermind's dive is so good, but they take so much pressure, and when the backlines pressure themselves, they can't exactly go back to help.
Exactly. So UCR looking to set up early on high ground here with the Ash Brig setup. Hopper walking out on his own, more towards point and around towards to Brawl in the middle with the help of Wakatrout. Both Ashes dueling on high ground here with the helps of their Brigs. Cyber misses the dynamite there. Not able to set anything up. Looks like Tim Davison also misses his dynamite though. Very even fight so far, very slow pace.
Cyber does fall incredibly low.
Yeah, Zebra does try and go in there, but just not far enough. Okay, now Zebra going aggressive into the backline, instantly out though. Huge nade though from Psyche. The timing though is a little bit off. Right after Zebra's engaged, Zebra gets punished hard trying to re-engage on that nade.
Incredible stun there, and CC chain onto UCSC's Zebra. Psyche falls as well, and so does Fox's. And once Zebra falls there, the dominoes just fall as well.
Yeah, when Psyche moves over to the Ana, the big factor is nade there. Nade starts dictating your engages, the pace of play. Nade cooldown is the single biggest factor, in my opinion, versus the speed ring previously. And so when you have missed timings like that, Zebra goes out, Psyche throws in the nade. That is very, very bad.
Absolutely, but never mind. Is very close to the pulse bomb here. Let's see if he can get any value with it. He has made a super pass. Does find Silver Surfer with it. That's a huge pick. Immediately engaging onto Cyber, who's 1 HP.
Not able to close out the kill instantly though. Is able to find it after a little bit of struggle though. And this fight will swing the way of Santa Cruz. Hopper does find Nevermind, but the stagger won't mean much. Nevermind will get back so much faster than the rest of Riverside.
That was really good of UCSC to immediately re-engage when they could, so that UCR wasn't able to get enough distance to get close to the forward spawn point.
Nevermind, I mean, just putting in so much work last map and this map. I think Nevermind is really turning these maps in the favor of Santa Cruz.
Yeah, now Santa Cruz coming up on both support ults here, along with Meteor Strike and Bob. The UCR has the same ultimates to respond, so it's going to be a lot of chaos here.
So Orbital coming out from Watermelon Dog actually very early. Not sure if Wakatrout will be able to get anything. Finds a great kill in it, Nevermind. But Rally Pop to kill Wakatrout though.
Orbital Ray responds, coming out, rallies from both sides. Nano does come out onto Zebra, who finds Wakatrout. Rampage comes out, hits 2. Can he capitalize onto Fox? Is also getting antied here. Bob does come out to stall, and now it is again a 5v5 for UCSC versus UCR.
Riverside, yeah, with the upper hand here. They do have to wait because of the Bob, but it looks like they're going to be able to regain some momentum. Nade did come off from Psyche, did not find much. Watermelon Dog is very low, but Hopper's able to kill Foxes. Silver Surfer finding Psyche. This fight is over for Santa Cruz.
And UCR able to conserve their Blade and Bob here, while UCSC only has Meteor Strike, which realistically isn't very impactful ult here.
Yeah, Wakatrout likely looking to get aggressive with this Blade. We might see a Blade speed ring combo, maybe even a shot thrown in. A lot of resources going to be committed to this Blade.
He is definitely going to, Wakatrout's definitely going to be focusing on the Ash, the Ana, the Brig here. Can he find the value that he really wants with his Blade? Bob comes out to contest the point. Engage. Meteor Strike comes out onto Cyber, doesn't fully kill him, but finishes him off with a punch. Now Fox is incredible. Silver and Surfer incredibly low, gets finished off by Nevermind, who then refocuses his attention onto Wakatrout, who also falls to Sand Devastate.
UCR does not commit very heavily though. They could have used the Blade, but they choose not to because they already have forward spawn. That's what they wanted from that fight. So they have no need to invest extra resources. especially since payload gets stalled at that checkpoint for around 10 seconds. Nevermind now has the pulse though, and every single time Nevermind engages the fight with a pulse bomb, you know, something big happens.
Your team is
Yeah, and
close to
San
the
Devastan
conquest.
too getting closer to the Bob, getting incredibly close to the Bob, sticking onto Cyber, finding him. Blade pops to respawn, finds San Devastan, but he's incredibly low and gets punched by Zebra here. Hopper also low, getting bursted down, but Silver Surfer's getting focused too.
Zebra not able to clean up that kill, and Jungle Queen just heals up so fast, especially with the help of Juno. Looks like Santa Cruz, though, in the meantime, has actually pushed through to forward spawn. Not quite taking the lead, though. Lead still, I believe, in favor of Riverside.
Pretty even game though. Instead, in terms of distance here, UCR does have both support ults here. UCC finds the sleep on the Hopper, but isn't able to fully capitalize. Walker Trap finding himself incredibly low, but uses the recall. And now both support ults are going to get popped here to win this fight.
Yeah, Orbital coming off from Watermelon Dog. And Rally from Silver Surfer as well. Riverside is investing heavily here. Zebra falling so low. But Nano comes out from Psyche, saving his life. Good stun there, though, from Silver Surfer, preventing Zebra from doing so much damage.
Rampage utilized too, and it only finds Psyche, who doesn't even die. Rally now comes out from Foxes, but San Devastan falls.
Sentries is able to stabilize a little bit, down one, but they have much more health to work with now. And Psyche is able to find a kill on the Cyber. Never mind finding Watermelon Dog. And yeah, Santa Cruz was just, or Riverside was not able to clean up there. They used a lot of ultimates, but they were not able to close the distance onto the Santa Cruz backline.
And now UCSC, though they had to invest both their support ults, so did UCR, and now it's going to be a battle of which DPS, which team can get the picks with their ultimates.
Santa Cruz now takes the lead, makes it very difficult. Riverside to push quite far away, and every inch now that Santa Cruz pushes, Riverside has to push back one more.
Now Cyber switching onto the Cass instead of the Ashe here. Trying to find picks, building up the Deadeye. Walker Trout also has his Pulse Bomb.
Santa Cruz is just playing so split. Riverside has no idea where to engage. They're getting attacked from 3 different angles here.
Zebra diving onto the back line of UCR. Walker Trout gets antied, but finds a Pulse Bomb onto Foxes. Cyber still has his High Noon online. Let's see if he'll invest it here.
Great knife there from Hopper. Almost knocks UCSC backline off the high ground. Hopper's still going in. Finds a great knife onto Nevermind.
Getting knife onto, trying to isolate Zebra here before he can get out, but Zebra is able to get out. Still has Meteor Strike to stay alive, but San Devastan falls to Cyber.
Yeah, the Santa Cruz high ground, seems inaccessible to Riverside, but Hopper's hitting almost every single knife, doing so much work. Zebra does have Empowered Punch from that Meteor Strike, so we'll look to get a lot of damage onto a squishy target for Riverside.
Now, UCR pushing the bot towards Santa Cruz's side. Zebra getting dangerously low here. High Noon does find Nevermind. That's a huge pick, and Silver Surfer pops his rally to secure the fight.
Yeah, this looks like Riverside will easily be able to take the lead here now and push quite a bit farther than Santa Cruz. They've already hit the checkpoint. They won't get stalled here.
Now, UCR has Orbital Ray coming up on Rampage, and all UCSC has to respond is Bob and Nano.
Yeah, Nevermind, though, almost at that Pulse Bomb, and we know he can do so much. Actually, Santa Cruz somehow able to touch this before Riverside takes the lead.
Forcing out the Orbital Ray, which has a lot of value. They may have lost the lead, but they're forcing out some pretty impactful ults, and Hopper forced to back up here and falls.
Double kill.
Yeah, Riverside not able to push quite as far as they like, though. Santa Cruz just on the Doomfist, able to come back so quickly.
Now Santa Cruz, this is going to be the fight for the lead here. Hopper does have his Rampage online, but that's really the only big ultimate. We need to see how much value you can get from that in the wake of UCSC's support ults.
Yeah, and especially now that Rally's online, you can stun Queen out of that. So Foxes pops his ultimate before Hopper. Hopper will not be able to Rampage for quite a bit of time. He'll have to wait on the back.
Shout comes out, Rally comes out,
Yet
after
gets
the
stunned
rally.
out of the Rampage.
Amazing stun, finding only an anti onto Zebra, who's able to stay alive. Psyche still has her Nano. San Devastan finds a pick onto Silver Surfer here. Hopper trying to do his best to take the space back, but Nevermind still pushing the cart.
Yeah, Hopper just really did not respect Fox's rally there, and yeah, eventually falls. It looks like Santa Cruz will still be cleaning this up, even though they take point away just for a second.
Now Santa Cruz pushing for the lead now,
And
with
still-
only a minute 20 remaining.
Still holding on to their Nano. This is going to be big. Nano onto Zebra, and he has the Orbital, or the Meteor Strike available. It's going to be very hard to kill Zebra.
Can Walkatrout find value, find a pick with his Pulse Bomb here? Sandevisson already finds Cyber. Walkatrout's incredibly low. Hopper also getting incredibly focused, antied.
Meteor Strike comes in from Zebra, and Cleanup comes in on the Hopper. This is going to be very difficult for Riverside to recontest. Santa Cruz still holding on to their Meteor Strike Nano. They've held this for so long.
Remaining too. UCR coming up on Orbital Ray, coming up on Rally, but UCSC is going to have around the same ultimates too.
It looks like, you know, they're going to have to try and make something work with Cyber, but Deadeye, but Nevermind finds another entry pulse onto Silver Surfer. How many times is he going to do this? Santa Cruz will easily close out this fight.
Deadeye comes out, doesn't find any value. Zebra finds Cyber after he Deadeyes, and Watermelon Dog can't even find an opportunity to use his Orbital Ray.
Riverside will have one more touch here. They do have Orbital Ray here, so it will be very possible to win this. But Zebra's going to do a good job of keeping them in spawn.
Might even keep them out. Hopper is able to get out. Cyber does find Zebra, though. Maybe a bit of an overextension there with the Orbital Ray.
Great swap from Silver Surfer onto the Curie, able to cleanse Zebra's empowered punches. UCR DPS falling low. Nevermind able to find Cyber. Can he find Walkatrout? No, Walkatrout finds him.
Keep in mind, Psyche did invest the Nano onto Nevermind to try and desperately win this fight to win the entire game. Now, overtime, UCSC does have Rally. They do have Meteor Strike. They do have Bob for this last engage. And UCR is just relying on Hopper to get this Rampage.
You can see the discipline there from Sandevisson. Really wanted to drop the Bob, but recognized, you know, it's not winnable now. We don't need to win this fight. Regroup and fight for next.
Yeah, we see Zebra, Nevermind, looking for an impactful pick here. Can he get a pick with the Pulse Bomb? No.
This is the Pulse Bomb for once. Zebra going in with Meteor Strike. The Watermelon Dog falling very, very low. Nevermind able to clean that up. Cyber falling as well. This is not looking very winnable for Riverside. Still holding on to the Rampage. But Hopper cannot afford to get off point here. And that'll be the second map for Santa Cruz. Not two.
Somewhat close there, but it felt like what UCR, once they got slightly past the first checkpoint there with the forward spawn, UCSC was just able to regroup, take a deep breath, and just completely roll UCR.
Yeah, this, you know, Riverside swapped in Cyber. Cyber was just not able to get any value on the hit scan pick compared to Sandevisson. Yeah, you can look even here. Sandevisson just played great angles throughout, really negated Cyber's impact, whether he was on Ash or Cassidy.
Yeah, and once again, UCR just didn't seem to have an answer to completely shut down Zebra. But however, Psyche with her anti-nades did find a lot of value against Hopper. We saw some massive nades onto him to completely shut him down.
Looked a little bit shaky at first on the on, I was doubtful. But yeah, they started getting the coordination more down, started timing their dives. I think in order to win this, you know, Riverside really has to change some things up. I'm honestly surprised they haven't tried Lucio. I think teams have had a lot of success against weird comps like this, playing Lucio, Juno, Queen, playing very fast and getting into the backline. And that's what Riverside has struggled with. So I wonder if they're just not too comfortable on the Lucio pick, or they've tried it out and they've done better on the Brig Juno. But they're going to have to change something up. They're down 2-0. This will knock them out of LAN.
Yeah, I feel like UCR, we just haven't seen enough variation in their team compositions. They basically always run an Ash, sometimes a Cassidy, but there's just not enough adaptability we're seeing in their playstyle.
And Wakatra is doing a lot on Genji, but, you know, one Genji can only do so much, and especially when Nevermind is playing very, very well on the Tracer, it's very difficult to get value on Genji.
Yeah, very difficult duo of Zebra, Nevermind for UCR to deal with here every single game, especially on their back lines, putting so much pressure on Walkatrout to perform.
And Riverside has decided to take us to New Junk City. I think this is a good pick for them. Queen, I very much expect them to play Queen again. I think they're going to try and run a very similar comp, but maybe, well, depending on if they play Cyber, Abelsander. My guess is Abelsander, and potentially they'll go with a double flex DPS lineup, playing much more close quarters, trying to get on the backline more.
Yeah, we might see something that UCI trying to run with the Venture, Genji, Queen, Juno, Lucio. Incredibly quick dive onto UCSC's back line.
Yeah, UCR just needs something a little bit more consistent to make this setup work. Walkatrout, you know, has a lot of great engages, but it's not consistent. Can only get picked sometimes. you need something consistent. Venture is able to set up very consistent dives because you can choose exactly where you end up, you know, with that burrow and drill dash. And, you know, with Queen Shout, Venture is so durable that it's very difficult to counter. So I think that would be a potential great pick for them. Not sure how comfortable Riverside is on the Venture pick, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, what do you think will be the primary variable in the team composition that UCR needs to change?
Well, I think, you know, now that they've chosen New Junk City, they're expecting Santa Cruz to move back to the Juno break. You know, a little bit too close quarters for Ana to get much value. So I do think they need to play fast, because if the Santa Cruz backline is playing fast now that they have the Juno, they need to play faster or move off of the Queen. The whole point of Queen and a Queen rush comp is to get onto the back line, especially when playing against a dive tank like this. So Riverside will have to either go faster or change up something about their engagements.
Yeah, and like you said, Abelsander did get subbed in for Cyber, so it looks like they won't be going for the Ashe pick here. We'll have to see what type of DPS composition they're going to choose.
It's like Abelsander on the Cassidy. I don't know how I feel about this pick. I don't think the Cassidy has been working out very well for Riverside. San Davison is on the Mei, which I think was actually a very strong look on Well.
Yeah, I do love the Mei pick here, especially against the Cassidy, which UCR tried last map near the end, but it just wasn't able to find enough value. It's meant to capitalize and counter on Zebra, but it just wasn't able to do that.
So hopefully, I think the hope now is that with San Davison off of hit scan, Abelsander will be able to have a little more impact. And also, Abelsander will be able to move over to flex DPS if he's not finding any value on Cassidy.
Absolutely. Now we see the first engage here is everything. Can UCR get enough space for Abelsander to work, or are they going to get isolated by San Davison's wall?
Riverside opting to rotate around the side to not play from inside this room. They see the Mei, they're careful of the wall. Looks like San Davison misses the wall actually. Walkatry does fall low, but able to survive. Everyone actually on the UCR side very low. Is Zebra able to engage this? Yes, he is. Finds a huge punch. Finds 3 kills. Never mind cleaning up the 4th and the 5th.
Zebra, never mind the duo, once again finding all 5 final blows there in the first engage for UCR. What do you think went wrong there?
I think, yeah, UCR is just going to really struggle with this composition, especially with Abelsander. They have no tools to get past this Mei. They have no tools other than running straight at the UCSC backline, which is just not going to work.
Yeah, especially not with a Lucio or any additional speed to help them push them over the edge. With the break, there's just too much. They just have to play too safe, too protected.
They're going to need to try to outmaneuver Santa Cruz. But that's going to be very difficult with the Doom Fist. They are putting some damage into Zebra, forcing him back a little bit, but Nevermind in the backline being a nuisance. Great combo there, great coordination between Nevermind and Psyche. Psyche perfectly times those missiles for Nevermind's dash.
And great wall from San Davistan too to completely cut off UCR from backing out. Isolating their supports, who we saw were trying to get past the wall to try and get out and reset. The wall just prevented them from doing that.
Santa Cruz is almost forcing Riverside just to run around point, waiting for the perfect time. You know, those Juno missiles do so much damage. Juno missiles plus NG dash plus any kind of poke from the remaining members. It's just too much.
And let's look at the UCSC's ults. UCR coming up on 3, but UCSC, every single person has their ult, and they didn't even need to invest one to capture the first point.
And now Santa Cruz will have, you know, an advantage getting to point since they're a little bit faster, but since it's so close, Riverside's actually able to get there first. Zebra with a big punch actually forced Meteor Strike though, because of Abelsander's Deadeye.
2 of UCR's biggest ultimates come out too, coming up on Orbital Ray and Rampage, but UCSC has 4.
Yeah, the rally didn't even notice the rally coming up from Riverside. Did not really accomplish anything. They over-ulted there, it looks like. Zebra with a big punch hitting a lot of Riverside. Nevermind coming from another angle. Looking to potentially pop a blade. No, San Davison actually goes with the Blizzard in combination with the Orbital Ray. Is able to kill the entire Riverside squad, even through Orbital Ray from Watermelon Dog.
A massive Blizzard there coming out from San Davistan. Once you noticed both support ults came out, they knew there was going to be massive brawl. San Davistan immediately popped the Blizzard, get 2 huge freezes onto the Genji and Junker Queen. They're able to isolate them both, and now Nevermind has his blade, and UCR has Rampage and also their blade, so let's see what they can do with that.
I do think this is an optimistic fight for UCR. Rampage is just very difficult to counter. So if Santa Cruz sets up on high ground, Hopper will have a good engage here.
And they get the back line of UCSC because Nevermind and Zebra definitely aren't going to get hit by this. So can they hit the supports with this Rampage here?
Yeah, looks like Hopper going for Rampage. Hits so many with that. That'll be an easy fight win for Santa Cruz, or for Riverside. Excuse me.
Blade comes out from Nevermind. A bit of an over-ult usage there. Already had 2 teammates down, so UCSC, their ult economy is completely reset, and UCR coming up on Rally and Blade.
Yeah, Riverside's going to rely really on this Blade to secure this point. It's going to be difficult. You know, Zebra's coming up on that ult. He's feeling a little bit more enabled to play aggressive. Abelsander just has to kind of use that hinder very well, try and fend off and dive onto Waka Trout. Any aggression onto Waka Trout.
Well, let's see what Waka Trout can do with this Blade here. It's going to mean everything. Sam Davison already uses his ice block, unable to save himself later. Blade comes out, shoots to focus onto Foxes, doesn't find anything, but Sam Davison falls down as everyone else is scattered on UCSC.
Yeah, great zoning Blade there from Waka Trout, but Hopper overextends.
That's actually a massive pick there. UCSC is going to be able to re-engage now that the tank of UCR is down. They choose to invest the rally from Silver Surfer. They find Psyche, but Silver Surfer is traded out.
Looks like Santa Cruz will out swipe, but no, Abelsander finds another kill, actually. Both supports down for Santa Cruz, and with the saddle, with the orbit, Riverside will able to actually close this out.
Do you think that might have been an overusage of Orbital Ray?
I don't think so. I mean, as long as they can secure this point, I think it's fine. But Zebra is on point now. Looks like a speed high noon coming out from Abelsander. Chunk Zebra, Hopper able to finish it up.
That is huge. That is going to be completely fight turning. However, the Blizzard does come out, does freeze the Junker Queen here. Can they find Hopper? Nevermind finds 3 on Abelsander and Waka Trout 2, 4.
Great Blizzard there, turning the point for Santa Cruz. I don't think Riverside will be able to. It'll be very difficult to touch. Hopper just now spawning, has very little time to get to point.
That was great from Sam Davison, identifying that the fight was not over yet, in choosing to invest his Blizzard onto key targets such as Hopper and able to completely turn the fight around with Nevermind capitalizing completely off his freezes.
Yeah, Waka Trout's now in Tracer though, and I don't know how I feel about Abelsander still on Cassidy. I feel like the benefit of having him give much more flex options, but you're just not getting any of that. Now with Waka Trout on the Tracer instead of the Genji, you just have so much less carry potential, especially into the comp that Santa Cruz is running.
Yeah, and UCSC have 4 major ultimates online here. Definitely going to use Rally here to engage onto UCR. Rally comes out, Flashpoint's going to unlock, Blade comes out, focusing on the Juno, finds Watermelon Dog, almost finds Abelsander, and the rest of UCR is taken down.
This is not looking good for Riverside. I do think they need to swap over to something, you know, like a Venture, get back to the Genji, but no, they're still on this cast Tracer, and I just don't think it's going to work out well for them. You know, Tracer has no good targets on the side of Santa Cruz, unless, you know, Brig is good for pulse bomb, but other than that, very difficult to find value.
Yeah, and UCSC still has their Orbital Ray to use here. Even before, it's possible that UCSC try to close out this fight before Hopper gets his Rampage and is able to utilize it.
Yeah, this fight will look good for Riverside, I think, but after this fight, without Rampage, I don't know what they have to hold on to this point.
Z-Rez's meteors trying to stay alive here too, so it's going to be, he's definitely going to be able to play a lot more aggressive here onto UCR. He's trying to wrap UCSC.
Santa Cruz, though, is doing a great job of playing space, making sure that Hopper does not have a good angle for this Rampage. Great punch there from Zebra. Unfortunately, Abelsander slides off. Hopper hits a huge Rampage, actually, though, finding 3.
But Orbital Ray comes out, and the rest of UCR isn't able to capitalize on the damage. Nevermind and Zebra just completely turning the fight around once they realize that their backline isn't as vulnerable as they once thought.
Yeah, Watermelon Dog almost had the orbital there, but just a little bit too far off. A very, very dominant map and very dominant match for Santa Cruz. I think yesterday when we saw Santa Cruz play earlier, they looked very, very weak on the Doomfist. They're getting countered very hard by San Diego. This is a completely different look for them. I think the DPS line has become, you know, they've been doing just so much. Nevermind making so many carry plays on both Genji and Tracer, and Sam Davison has been putting on very solid performances on May.
Yeah, once UCSC doesn't have to focus on supporting Zebra so much on the Doomfist, playing around it as he's getting countered, the DPS can just thrive.
Yeah, I think Riverside really failed to adapt there. You know, Abelsander on cast, that whole map, for me, is a little bit of a failure of, you know, just adapting. You know, you can't really make too many plays. He did come up big a couple times, but You just don't have consistent utility to counter Santa Cruz's composition.
Yeah, and with that, we have our final team here going to LAN, UCSC, and joining UCLA, UCI, and UCSD, all four going to LAN for Overwatch.
Yep. So that'll close out our matches for the online qualifiers of UCEI presented by Xfinity. So thank you all so much for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Love to game? With Xfinity, you can upgrade your speed to keep slaying zombies like it's your day job.
It is my day job.
Upgrade your internet speed for the ultimate gaming experience. Bring on the good stuff.